Hail and well met, and welcome to Severed Threads and Notes from the Black Ballad. So good to see you all back here, and if this is your first time here, it's good to see you anyway. Very happy to see all our players here, looking amazing as they usually do. Before we jump into our introductions, I want to say thank you very much to Storytellers Forge and Diamorte, the sponsors of this stream. Storytellers Forge, of course, the producers and writers of the module that we are playing, the Black Ballad. You should definitely grab a copy of it if you can. You can find that at the store. Links to that and to the Discord for Storytellers Forge are in the chat as we speak. And Diamorte, of course, Drake leading Diamorte and responsible for the music that you're listening to right now. Purpose-written music specifically for this module. Pretty awesome. And then there's me. I'm responsible for this too.
He's been here the whole time.
I'm medium. My name is Sean. I am a DM for hire. If you like what you see and are interested in playing a game of mine, then hit me up. Also, information in the chat, my Discord, medium rare. And if you like the art that you're seeing, a lot of the art that you're seeing is going to be from the actual Black Ballad itself. But the art of our characters here, amazing artist, goes by Kai. You can find her on Instagram, and that information is also in the chat. Going back to Storytellers Forge, circling back, they have a crowd-funded project that they're doing right now. Novels actually set in this setting with characters going through what these characters are going through as well. So definitely check that out. Information about that also in the chat. Chronicles of the Crossing would be really cool to read some novels about this setting, find out more of the lore, expand what is already a tremendous amount of lore, history, backstory, and just really cool, dark, and also contemplative fantasy. It appeals to me very much, and I think it will appeal to you as well. Let's have a quick introduction of our players. Who will it be first this time? First, it's going to be Tess.
That's surprising.
Surprise round.
My name
the
is...
point.
My initiative was too low. My name's Tess. I have created two beautiful little chaos goblins, and I help run Ohio Shakespeare Festival in Akron. Right now we're doing spooky shows for spooky season, and it's pretty much my favorite thing in the whole wide world.
Very cool.
Work-wise, not like I like my family more.
The kids are okay, but spooky season.
You can find information about Ohio Shakespeare Festival in chat as well. And how can I introduce Tess without introducing Ryan?
It's me. Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm an actor manager with the Ohio Shakespeare Festival. I'm also the owner and builder Buckle and Rose, which is these lovely leather goods that are all sorts of nerdy. And I also help feed and take care of the two chaos goblins that live in Tess and I's house. So, yeah, and they're pretty great. Also,
It just appeared one day.
spooky season.
Rent free.
No, rest assured.
To be fair, our chaos goblins really like spooky season too.
It's true. It's true.
Genetics are a thing, man.
I can tell you that the products produced by the Buckle and Rose are fantastic. I've had these for years now, and they just get cooler looking the more beat up they get. So
100%.
definitely check out Buckle and Rose also in the chat. Jesse?
I am also a maker of a tiny chaos goblin, who I love. She's too young to know what spooky season is, but I assume she'll really like it when she gets older. I'm also an accountant, which mostly just pays for all of my hobbies, which is a lot of just D&D. And so there's that. Other than that,
We would be
that's me.
lost without her. She is the final authority on math as far as how much damage has been taken.
Go maths.
So,
Yeah.
Yes.
you're so good
Note
at math.
taker supreme. She counts.
So cool.
Hi, I'm Soku. I don't have any chaos gremlins, but I got chaos cats, and they're both black, so very spooky season-esque. I work on a game called World of Tanks, specifically on console, so check out all that cool stuff. It's free, so play it, because it doesn't cost you anything to play it, and that's always the best.
We'll speak more about free in a moment, but first I want to introduce
favorite number.
Samus Haddad.
Hi, my name is Samus. I'm an opera singer and equity and educational equity fundraiser based in Chicago, and I am also a member of a fun little podcast called Echoes of Kryn, which take place in the Dragonlance universe and is run by one very special dungeon master.
Yes, indeed. That is a podcast that Samus and I have been a part of for a long time. If you watched last week, you got to see a fun cameo from one of our other players. But you can check that out at echoesofkryn.com or any podcast app that you use. We have a lot of fun making it. You should definitely give it a listen. Now, circling back to that free talk that we had with Soku, if you go to the Storytellers Forge Discord right now and mention this stream, Severed Threads, you'll be put into a raffle to win something cool from them. And if you go to my Discord, Medium Rare, and mention Severed Threads, you'll be put into a raffle to win dice. And we all know what that means.
Wouldn't it?
So, wouldn't it be okay. And we begin. I think that is everything that I need to say. Everybody ready?
Bring it on, man.
Let's do it.
Very
No, but
well.
yes.
Do it.
My friends, it is time. I extend my hand, inviting you to step with me into fantasy. Release your hold on that which you know to be true, and let imagination rule for the next few hours.
He did it.
He did the thing.
He said the thing.
Last time on Severed Threads, the adventurers, newly dead and in the land of the Sunless Crossing, a space between spaces, a place where they have perhaps an eternity to wait, perhaps less, to see whether or not they are going to be resurrected or whether or not they are ready to move on to their final rest, whatever that might be. Will it be what they want, what they've earned? These are questions that they have to come to grips with in however long a time they have to spend here. Here is the city of Nox Valar, a not necessarily enormous city, but a very layered city and very, what's the word? Eclectic city, because of all of the different souls that are there waiting in lines in some case to get to their various temples or their various hobbies or entertainment, or answering the question, what does a soul necessarily do with their time as they wait their turn to be judged, to get information? Could be hundreds of years, could be thousands of years. What effect does that have on a soul? These are all questions that the characters have to answer, but in the meantime, they can pursue their afterlife as they see fit, whether it be through meditation, through prayer, through cooking, through performing, through trying to deal with problems and griefs and issues that have plagued them all of their lives. Will those plagues continue now that they are dead? Questions that need answering. The characters, well, at least one of the characters, actually found a friend, somebody who had been dear to them in the living world, who is here as a fellow soul. One Corcoran Pebblemoss, who was helping Wynn to deal with some grief and was a friendly face after a long absence. However, when he came to be introduced to the rest of the group, after several days, weeks of acclimating to Nox Valar, there was a suddenly plummeting from the sky were two armored figures in pitched battle with one another that landed on the hapless Corcoran Pebblemoss, crushing him. And here in the Sunless Crossing, there is no such thing as death saves. As he was killed, he instantly turned into dust and is gone, presumably for 24 hours, at least, as they have already discovered. When you reach 0 hit points here in the Sunless Crossing, that is it. Your time is up. However, after a pitched chase through the streets of Nox Valar, trying to find these individuals that fell out of the sky and seemed to have no regard whatsoever for what they had done, due to some truly unfortunate rolls, the adventurers lost sight of their quarry and they escaped. Now, taking you back to that moment, you're into the interior of Nox Valar, and it is hopeless. Your energy has failed you if you've been just trying to run. You've lost sight of them if you've been trying to spot them. Any idea you've had to cut them off has come to naught. The Nixian Guard, these enormous armored individuals, many of which are gargoyles, flying around and trying to capture these people as well, have lost sight of them also. However, they do see you, and it is not long before you are surrounded. You're not necessarily arrested, but it's clear that since you were in the vicinity when this event happened, you had the best look at it, and as such, you are the most likely people to question. So it's not necessarily you're under arrest, it's would you mind coming down to the station and answering a few questions?
Lawyer. That's the word.
Right. You are put under guard and taken through the city of Nox Valar. The word of what has happened spreads quickly. Of course, you're the only ones who have a tie to Corcoran Pebblemoss, so the rest of the citizenry of Nox Valar not necessarily saddened by his death, but the prospect of souls falling out of the sky into the city, that apparently is something that no one has ever seen before, and that is the topic on people's minds. At any rate, you are taken through the city of Nox Valar up once again to the Onyx Requiem, a massive building of gold and black marble, domed and covered with statuary. As you approach it, you don't see any rubble, you don't see any cracks or anything to suggest that this is an ancient building, but there is something about it that exudes age, timelessness. If somebody were to tell you that this was the first building constructed in Nox Valar, you would absolutely believe it. However, as old and ornate as it is, it appears to be in perfect condition. There's just a gravitas to it that is impressive. The Nixian Guard bring you into the structure. Vaulted ceilings high above you. You are brought to a chamber where you are told to wait. And this is where we pick up our adventurers. This is not a cell. It's a comfortable room, but it is clear that you are strongly encouraged to remain here until summoned. What do you do?
Jack.
What?
No fucking
I
around.
did. Oh, what? I was gonna say this. Oh, fine, fair. No fucking around.
When they when they ask us questions, just answer them like a normal person.
Well, I've never been a
Like a human person,
Oh,
Jack.
God, not like a
Like-
human.
Like a
Oh.
responsible
Oh,
adult
yeah.
that, I mean, I'm sure you are an adult, though you don't behave like it.
I
Are-
am actually
Is he that?
ancient, but thank you for asking.
Hopefully, I mean, guys, we've only been here a few days and we're already being questioned about
Uh,
something crazy. Like this,
I'm just gonna say
this
we've
place
only
is
been here-
crazy.
Exactly. We've only been here a few days, and then also apparently, everything is breaking, everyone is dying, and somehow we're always in the middle of it.
Right? That's just terrible luck.
Tell me about it.
Hey, but do you know what? No oozes.
Why would you say that?
Yeah.
Bite your
I was
tongue.
Thank God.
It's only a matter
No
of
oozes.
time.
Oh,
DM makes note. Include more oozes.
Do
when
oozes
is-
die?
Oh yes. Do they have souls? That's the better question.
Mm.
As if you forgot about the ooze.
But when is right, keep your answers short, factual, and listen. There's no sense in putting ourselves in further jeopardy.
of course.
Those two were crazy. Right? Like, Did they
truth
hate
is
each
on
other
our
or
side.
not? Like, it was really hard to tell. There was like a weird sexual tension. It was crazy, and they were so fast and took no
L'amour.
idea. Except he seemed really sad and sorry and was like more like, please help me kind of, and she was just angry and kind of scary. Was that blood in her hair?
Yes.
She had very chosen of ball vibes.
You hear a knock on the door, which opens right away, and Valen the Jade enters, the Arbiter. You have gathered that he is actually in charge of the Nixian Guard. You will recall him from the Junction, the very large and impressive green gargoyle, long flowing black hair, the edges of his wings sharpened. He comes in with a scowl on his face and looks at you all. Ha! Again. There is trouble, and you are there.
You're
Do
welcome.
not believe I got your names last time. I am Arbiter Valen, known as the Jade.
Oh, very, very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm
And
Dawn.
Jax, and this is the Ooze Crew.
No.
No, not that one? Okay. All right. Try something else.
I'm Dawn, and this is my sister Dusk.
Hello.
How do you do?
My name is
My
Niall.
name is
This is Win, and that is Jack. Apologies for stepping on your introduction.
It's pronounced Yak.
It's not.
I am about to take you before the Sovereign. You met her at Junction.
Yes.
She is going to be listening to your story in a far more official capacity. Do you have one among you who you usually choose to speak?
Anyone but Jack.
Oh, come on!
Yeah, not Jack.
Or Dusk.
You know,
Good.
I bet you dollars to donuts I am the most persuasive of anybody on this table.
Yes,
Just-
but you tend
Niall
to.
will
I
be
think Niall should do it. He's
Oh, but he's also... First off, up until, like,
And she.
I did
Wynn
not mean
grabs
for my
him.
question to elicit
he was
such
a
a
dog
lengthy
like
answer.
a hot second ago.
yeah, but
Wait,
he
wait,
talks.
What?
he's-
What did you say?
I
He was
mean-
a wolf before we got here.
A wolf.
A dog.
Yeah.
If you'd like to hear the longer story, I'd be happy to explain it another time.
He's a
It
Swedish
is contrary
boy.
to the pressing matter at hand.
I
We
would
didn't know
like
he
to
was
hear
a
about
dog until he
when
died.
you were a dog. There are no dogs in the Sunless Crossing.
He wasn't a dog when we got here. He got here like this.
Is that because all dogs go to heaven?
Hmm.
I have no idea.
Oh.
I just know that there are none here.
He was a wolf on our plane of existence, and when we got here, he was Niall.
Of course, no dogs can exist here. I assume that means wolves as well. Interesting, and perhaps we can talk about it another time. Will you be speaking to the Sovereign, Mr. Niall?
As you like.
I
Then
think
follow.
you would have done a great job, Jock.
And he leads you out of this area, down some wide halls. You see courtiers. At least that's the impression they give, based on their clothing, based on the way that they are idling about, looking at you all. You've made some sort of impression. A reputation of some sort is preceding you. However, you are brought into a spacious throne room, the focus of which is a enormous throne that is apparently made out of bone. It is glowing with a blue light. And sitting in this throne is the figure of Ashlyn. She appears very much the way you saw her in the Junction, wearing mostly black and browns. She has red hair that has a black circlet, a crown, but it is jet black, and it's somewhat obscured by her red hair. There is also an enormous mace that is at her side, leaned up against the throne. Far too large. One of these kind of think of a Final Fantasy weapon where it clearly must be magical. For anyone to wield it, it would need to have some sort of magical property to it. However, you are now in the presence of the godless monarchy. Ashlyn looks at you all, and with a slight smile, she says, "So, were you this much prone to trouble in life, or is it just death that finds you wherever there is calamity?"
I think when you are as well equipped to deal with trouble as we are often called upon as an asset.
High opinion of yourself.
Just an honest one.
I would hear in your own words the events that transpired today. Souls falling directly into the city is not something that usually happens. Although, over the history of this place, many unusual things have happened. There's nothing to take alarm at. However, I would like to hear what happened from those who are the closest to see.
We have been charges of Johann since we've arrived, and from his own description as well. Apparently odd things have been happening since our arrival. I'm not so egotistical as to think that those things have any correlation with one another, but we have dealt with odd, black, chaotic twisters in the Ashen Fields. You were present when we helped you fight off those reality-chomping monsters as we defended the inn. And then, after a few days of being in Noxvalar, we were simply having a discussion with a friend of Wynn's, and out of nowhere, 2 streaks from across the sky obliterated him in an instant. It was very jarring. A couple who identified themselves as Janos and Keltia, I believe. They were having some semblance of a lover's quarrel, and since they had destroyed a friend of hers, we gave them chase. Poorly, I might add. We did our best to protect the crowds from their war path, and I hope that poor Pebblemoss was the only casualty. From there, we lost sight of them. We know very little else, but we will do our best to aid you.
That is most gracious of you, and thank you for a very lucid and concise explanation. What you say coincides with what the Nixian gods observed. You threw yourselves at these individuals. You had no prior contact with them.
I certainly haven't. I cannot speak for my compatriots. We were apart for 4 days.
I hadn't seen
Never
them.
seen them in my life.
I hadn't seen them while I was wandering the city.
And in your best opinion, this Pebblemoss was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time?
I'll look to Wynn to answer that question.
He was inviting us to dinner.
Ah,
To a feast.
well,
Where will he reappear?
it is very likely he will reappear close to the city. As I said, unusual for souls to simply manifest within the walls. There are processes that are observed. The visit to the Atonement Grove, perhaps the Junction, finding your Ashen Shepherd so that you can slowly come to terms with what has happened. These two have not had any of that, and while their rampage through the city is not something that speaks well of them, I'm inclined to give them the benefit of the doubt. It can be quite disorienting arriving here when everything goes according to custom. How they arrived, I can only imagine they were panicked, especially if they were in some sort of conflict before they arrived.
They seemed
Confusion can cause violence.
they seemed aware that they had managed to kill each other. They seemed aware that they were dead when they were talking to each other.
Well,
Sean, did we observe them with any sort of life glow that we have noticed on some of the individuals who...
decidedly not.
Yeah, okay.
Sovereign, do you have any explanation for any catalyst that might be causing all of these incongruencies here?
There's a slight rustle amongst the courtiers that are on the edges of this room as you ask this question, and she raises a hand barely, and the muttering stops, and she says, "As I said, while there is a usual way that business is conducted in the Sunless Crossing in Noxvalar, over the span of many, many centuries, countless oddities, strange occurrences have happened. The fact that several have happened at once may simply be coincidence."
Lean over to Dusk and go, "That question seemed to ruffle some feathers."
However, if it is not coincidence, if it is indeed causal, we will get to the bottom of it. In the meantime, you are to be commended. An entire city full of souls. It is rare to find those that will launch themselves at conflict for the betterment of others so readily. You have our thanks. And as far as I can tell, you'd managed not to break anything other than a few crates.
The crates were purposeful, just so you know.
I'm not pleased with lawlessness in the city, but circumstances were far from ordinary. So, let it be known, these individuals, Kelzir and Janos, we hold them in no ill regard, so long as they come to an understanding of their circumstance here and comport themselves with proper decorum. They will be welcome back in the city of Noxvalar. As for the Ooze crew,
No.
Absolutely not.
God.
I'm so
Please.
sorry.
Come on!
We've never settled on a
sorry,
group name.
As for this group of unnamed adventurers, you are all awarded a coin to the House of the Sovereign. While it may not be of particular value to you now, there are those in the city that would very much love to have it. I'm sure you will be able to exchange it for quite a bit of goods and services, if you don't wish to keep it.
We are honored by your gift.
She stands. This proceeding is concluded, and people begin to file out. Valen,
DM,
go ahead.
can I roll an insight check or anything just to, like, on general vibes from her? Like, do we sense that this is a good sovereign, or a sovereign that's hiding something, or a sovereign
naughty sovereign.
Naughty.
Naughty
No.
sovereign?
Ooh, that's
our
feisty?
group name, the Naughty Sovereigns.
Naughty Sovereigns? Oh, that's not bad. That's not
No,
bad.
it is bad. It's so bad.
Perfect.
At least a band name.
Yeah, right.
I mean, okay.
The Naughty Sovereigns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott.
So yeah, ska band. Yeah,
No,
absolutely. Please roll that insight check, Wid.
That's a 13.
A 13. She seemed genuine, as far as you could tell. You suspect that most of what she was told she already knew from basic reports, but she was genuine in wanting to hear from you specifically. Whether or not there was some ulterior motive, you didn't pick up on it.
Got it. No, pretty much beige flags across the board.
Yes, exactly. Valen collects you and looks at you and says, "The Sovereign is very busy, but if you have other questions, perhaps I can answer them. Otherwise, you are free to leave."
If Pebblemoss has to reincorporate himself, does he lose his place in line?
No. No, he does not. However...
That is a comfort.
However,
Well, there are other complications, but...
I understand.
What are they?
Oh, go ahead.
Have you spent too much time discorporating, as you said, or dying? It can have a long-term effect. Was this Pebblemoss subjected to such deaths?
I have no idea. I wouldn't think so. He spends his time reading and learning languages.
Then he should be fine.
okay.
I understand we are newcomers to this land. I understand that a couple heroic acts do not trust build. However, we are capable. And if aid can be given, we are at your service.
A generous offer, and I thank you for it. You have the eyes of those who might make use of such individuals. But for the time being, the Godless Monarchy, Pale Horsemen, and others, we are taking care of it. Go experience the city. Take your turn in line and concentrate on fulfilling the needs that you have for yourselves so that this place can be a transitionary place for you and not your permanent home.
My dear sir, if, as seems to be the case, we are going to keep throwing ourselves in harm's way for the good of Nox Valar, long may it shine, is there perchance a place where we might procure armor and armaments of a certain higher quality, which may prevent us from being disincorporated, as we've discussed?
We're really easy to hit right now.
Oh, so squishy.
I would like you to... Are you telling the truth about caring for the city of Nox Valar, Jack?
Jack is a hero, sir.
On some level, he is.
I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, no one writes it.
Are you using a hyperbole? Are you buttering him up? Or do you generally... That's a very strong statement to this particular individual. Is it truthful?
It is not truthful.
Medium.
Oh my god,
The answer
very
is medium.
such a very
I
such a
think
fake
right.
fucking answer.
Flags across the board.
I think that instead of a deception check, I will ask for a persuasion roll for that particular statement.
Don't mind if I do.
I mean, law of averages based on how the last session went.
Well, we're
like,
about to find out, right?
I'm
Hey.
expecting crits.
So my beautiful daughter gave me this little sparkly gem D20. I'm gonna roll that one because I gotta turn the tables here. That is a 15 on the die, and I have a
There we
plus 12. So
Oh my!
All right. His eyes narrow when you say that, but then slowly his demeanor changes and he nods slowly. There's a little bit of a grinding sound as he nods, even as he moves. Gargoyles, bizarre. You could see muscles, but they are made of stone. So as they move, it's a disconcerting effect. However, he nods and says, "If you do find yourself in harm's way again, it would not do for you to be unarmored. With the coins you just received, you should be able to find numerous armorers in the... Excuse me. Give me a second here.
Pickle.
Pickle. Yeah, no, yeah.
Does anyone
Wanna
else
make
find
sure
the
I get the
grinding of his
name.
like arms? It's very soothing. It's like a little like ASMR. It's lovely.
The Whetstone Bluff is the name of the region
Nice.
in Knoxville. He says there are armors in the Whetstone Bluff that will happily outfit you for the coins that you should be able to receive from that. If you have any trouble, mention my name, and I'll see to it that that trouble is sorted out.
Likewise,
Before
if
we go,
you have any concerns that you wish a group of unofficials to check out, we are at your service.
I will
Before we
keep that
go-
in mind.
could you tell us you're not the first person to allude to complications upon many deaths? Could you be more specific?
The more times a soul is reset, shall we say, the harder it is for them to hold on to that which makes them what they are, namely memory. All you see here is based on memory. Stronger the memory, the stronger its effect, the more potent the soul. If you lose your memories after being reset too many times, you may cease to be who you were, which can lead to worse and worse outcomes. Can there be anything worse than forgetting who you are, especially in this place?
No.
Win, I'd like you to make an insight check.
Ooh. 17.
17. He's not lying.
Okay.
Do you
Um,
always lose a memory when you die? When you turn to dust? Here, do you always
Well,
lose
it depends
something?
on the individual, but over time, yes,
Like if
there is no escaping it.
if it just happened once and Dawn is like peering at her sister as she asks this question, like if you died once here, could you have lost something?
About you.
He looks over at your
I
sister
know
and he looks
that.
back to you and he says, as I said, it depends on the individual.
Okay.
Of course, there are
So-
other ways to lose yourself. Spend too much time in meditation. Become addicted to gambling. Find forbidden knowledge in the library. Ways to lose yourself here that do not involve being reset.
So have you lost track of those two?
We have a very good idea where they are.
Good.
On a lighter note, the festival.
Hmm.
We know very little about it. I've been commissioned to make something for it.
There's a festival?
Tell me about it.
You have?
Yeah, Pebble Moss was inviting us when it happened.
Yes.
But commission?
Oh, I was late.
I'll explain later.
Wait, you got a commission?
Shush.
Oh,
That is for your shepherd to discuss. It is, after all, a festival honoring them.
Do we have to get him a gift?
wait, the shepherd?
Oh my god.
You don't
Yeah.
have to, but he would certainly appreciate it. Is there anything else?
Guys, he's like really important and we're asking him kind of like silly questions right now.
I think that's actually quite a very important question.
I mean, I thought.
No, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Of course. And he gestures to one of the Nixian guard that come and show you out back into the city of Noxvillar.
Listening to a
Question-
pebble fall down a mountainside.
Are for the DM, are the Nixian Guard all gargoyles that we've seen? Like
Many of them are wearing full armor to the point that they are. The one that you fought with in the junction was a large creature. Not all of the gargoyles most of the gargoyles you see, in fact, here are medium-sized. So there are certainly some here that are not gargoyles, but a great number of them are.
Okay.
But whatever the individual was that was underneath the armor that was at junction was probably not a gargoyle. Or if it was an enormous one.
Okay.
There is one thing about them, is that each one of them is distinct. All of them have either a specific pattern in their armor, or their helmets have these very animalistic trappings. So antlers, or carved to look like a lion or a bear.
Okay.
Splashes of color here and there. There is not one uniform. This is the tabard that
we are the
Nixian guard
Nixian
wears.
guard. Yeah.
No, it is. They are all very formidable. That's probably the one thing about them that is
Interesting.
the same.
Okay. Okay. I guess.
You find yourself back out in the city of Nox Valar. Does anybody have anything they wish to do or say at this point? Because otherwise, we're going to assume that time passes. But you have
Could
a moment
I
here.
just say something that I would do that would take time, but I don't want you to take time in the game?
Well, listen,
to-
say it. You
to
know,
have happen.
Fun is fun.
Uh,
We'll have fun with whatever form
Yeah.
it takes.
Wynn would want very much to, seeing as Pebble Moss told her that he spends most of his time in the library and reading in the, I believe it was a tower. The Belfry.
Yeah.
So
and-
Exora's Belfry is the name of what he was talking about. This tower that it's at the very southern end of Nox Valar. You
While
wish to head there?
Yeah, and all I want to accomplish is to give my sovereign coin to him as I don't know, an apology for the inconvenience of dying while inviting us to dinner, or thank you, or something, but a token.
This coin that you have is another one
Yeah.
of these that is in the shape of it's a somewhat triangular shape.
Mhm.
However, there's a sheen to it. There's a luster, if anything. So it looks very much like the one that you got from Corcoran in line for the Goddess of Wish, the Crossway coin. But the one that you just got for the House of the Sovereign, same sort of metal, but it has a sheen to it that almost has a what's the word I'm looking for? Scintillation. Different colors as you move it. It catches the light in different ways, so that it's never quite the same color.
Opalescent iridescent.
Yeah.
Iridescent. Yeah, I was just gonna say.
That's like that. So yeah,
That's the name of the party.
Opalescent iridescent.
Perhaps a bit pretentious, just a little bit, but you know.
Also kind of sparkly for a death group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naughty sovereigns.
But
You're like glam metal? I don't know.
you get the impression this is an extremely valuable coin. And while money may not have value here, buddy, in terms of like gold or silver, that sort of thing, the impression you got from this is that it was a very precious thing that you were given. And while you could assume that people at Exora's Belfry, or the place where he actually said that he spent most of his time, was the Temple of Tongues. You could certainly go there. In fact, let's go there. Do you wish to go to Exora's Belfry, or do you wish to go to Temple of Tongues?
If he said he spent most of his time at Temple of Tongues, then that's where I would go.
All right, so the Temple of Tongues, not far away from Exora's Belfry.
On the way out, I am going to elbow Jock and say, "Enough with trying to put ooze in the name.
What? Look, we've come up.
It's triggering."
We're always finding
Enough
ourselves
of
in
it.
sticky situations. It feels appropriate, all right? Also, kudos to you for keeping your hand over that freaking stick of yours. That would have been an awful introduction.
I had occurred to me, however, I have
I was just gonna
specifically asked whether or not what the general status was, like what is the default toggle, and she says she has it set to off.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I didn't do it. But,
Yeah.
it did occur to me. Can you imagine? Anyway.
If we'd ever decide on a group name, then I'm going to see if I can convince him to instead yell that out.
All right.
Dawn would also just say to Niall, thank you for doing the talking. I think you were the best suited for that.
Yes, we're going to keep that going.
Rude.
The Temple of Tongues. Temple of Tongues is, by the rest of the standards of some of these buildings, is fairly simple. If you did not specifically ask where it was, very possible you would have passed by it. As you reach it, it gives you the impression of maybe a priory or a monastery of sorts. There is not vestibule. What is the word for a courtyard that is open on the sides? So an open courtyard and then like a hall around it. A what?
No, I was about to say the word in Polish. I'm sorry.
Oh,
What's the word in Polish?
Dziedziniec!
oh, Dziedziniec! Sure, of course. It's
That's
that.
what it is.
Everybody on
Yeah.
the same page? Good. All right.
Yeah, love it.
So
For all our Polish
Yeah.
viewers.
it reminds you of a monastery, a place where individuals would be focused on their worship, but the sort of place that you might find artesian cheeses or beers, the Trappist monks and people who become really well known for a certain cheese or something like that. But here, there are dozens and dozens of individuals with scrolls and books. There are no doubt hundreds of languages being spoken in Nox Valar at the moment, and while it's probably a universal truth that many of them speak common, there are certainly some that don't, and there is a need for people who speak many languages, especially the more exotic ones.
Yeah, this absolutely seems like a place Pebble Moss would hang out.
Do you know him too?
Wynn spoke very highly of him, and I've met him on occasion. Well, that felt
sorry.
like another lifetime, honestly.
It was.
Haha. So you arrive. There are, you see, lots of long beards and spectacles and stools and desks and
Lots of other Corcoran pebble
yes,
boxes.
exactly.
Spawning. And we run up and we're like, "Oh, Corcoran, you're
A white man with a beard.
So
There's
you go there. He is not
Tumblegrass.
there.
There's yeah.
He is not there. You are asked whether or not there's some translating you need to do.
I was hoping if I could leave something, perhaps of value, that would be Corcoran's, if there was a safe place to do so.
Why can't you give it to him yourself?
He died? And
He
went back
opens his
here.
eyes and his spectacles fall off of his nose of this man. He died.
I catch his glasses. But the
Well,
breakfast
he'll
goes.
be back, but oh goodness, he'll have so much work waiting for him.
We could come back when he's back.
That might be the best option considering the value of the gift.
These guys are a bunch of nerds.
Never trust old men.
That's good advice.
That's how we got here in the first place.
Please, when he returns, tell him we were here and that we'll come back.
Right. You turn and you see someone who you think, out of the corner of your eye, is Corcoran. You look, it's a bald pate and the hair and the staff as well. You look and you eyes brighten for a moment, and he turns away, and you realize it's not him. He looks
This
at you.
place is weird.
Can I
Is it
help
a
you?
uniform? Sorry, I thought I knew you.
No, Lan Shi Taishan. Yeah, don't think we've ever met. And you step out. If everything goes according to plan, or according to custom, as they say, he should be back within 24 hours. Certainly not a pleasant experience, but not a permanent one either.
Should we go and try to get ourselves
For the love of gods, yes.
some armor? We obviously are not capable of staying out of trouble. And you guys
Trouble
are hard
finds
enough to
us.
keep alive in our realm where I can like heal you when you go unconscious. Here I couldn't even imagine.
Mm.
So
To be clear, this is now your realm. That which was before is lost to you.
Ooh, that's a hard pill to swallow.
I think that all hits us at the same time. That thought individually, and
Oh no, I'm still comfortably in denial. So that's
that's where you've always been. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
You stay out of me.
like
I was waiting for that joke to drop. I'm surprised you didn't get it there.
So just waiting for it.
I don't know if I lost anything.
Do you remember who I am?
Unfortunately.
Oh, see, then she's fine. Everything's fine.
That is the first time you've seen Niall smile in like 48 hours.
that's
As
the
you
first
are
time we've seen
smiling-
you smile ever because you used to
That's
be a
true.
wolf.
Yeah.
As
I
you
like
are
to think
smiling,
that-
there is another set of red streaks that begins falling out of the sky and
We're gonna
plummets
need to get
the
that
ground
armor.
somewhere else in Knoxville.
Fast.
We should really get some armor.
Now
And
go.
Everybody,
Do you
people
think it's the
around you
same
point
ones?
and like surprised to see.
They
it,
were
but
white light. Those ones are red light.
Oh. Oh. So we have an entire rainbow.
All right, my iridescent sovereigns. Are we ready?
That's too
It's not
that's
lame
too
either. Let's
mouthy.
go.
Yeah, it's a bit much. You're right.
I just leave in the direction
Sticky
of the red lights.
as you were told, these coins for the House of the Sovereign, or the close to the front of the line, are quite valuable, and as such, you could certainly use them to go to the House of the Sovereign and experience whatever that would be. But the coin that you could potentially get, and the favors, and the barter that you could get for this coin's value, would help to make your stay a lot more comfortable. So I assume that everybody catches them.
Yeah, because we could get ourselves some armor. Potentially, it sounds like they're pretty valuable.
Yeah.
So maybe we could get some armor and maybe move out of the tenements into the slightly nicer place.
Well, I'm still. I mean, how
I'm sticking in I'm staying with the tenements actually.
Yeah, I was like,
So,
I don't. Jack's the one who had the
go
problem
ahead.
with it.
What armor would you
And Dusk
like?
too.
You are able to acquire any armor that that you want to have for your characters. Go ahead and
Wow.
beef up those ACs, friends.
Wynn came with her armor.
I know.
That was one of her
Yes.
things. So she's gonna hold on to her coin for now.
No,
Okay.
so did Yak.
I did not come with my armor, but I think I'm going to hold on to the coin as well, actually.
Really? All
For
right.
now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know two of you who want the armor.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. My 11 AC is just not doing it for me.
That will not
And
do. That
I have
shall not stand.
9.
I know. How did you manage a 9
Yes,
AC?
She's got a
Seriously.
negative dex.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
what's it
Walking
gonna
hurts.
Clearly.
the air, as you can't walk too fast, otherwise the air penetrates your skin.
That's like those are my human stats,
Yeah.
the negative dex. Do we have a sense as to when this I know it's probably not going to happen within the time frame of this session, but is the Shepherd's Feast coming soon?
It is about a week away, about a fortnight away, I would say.
No.
Okay. 2 weeks.
I was hoping for a breastplate.
You are able to find a breastplate.
Then we don't have to spend a ton of time doing it, but in honor of the festival, what I'm actually going to do is create a massive cake that is going to be shaped like Johann reaching down to lift souls up as they enter. So that would be a long project for Niall. It would take several days.
It'll be an
so
angel food cake.
so I would source Johan's favorite flavor, and I would make it a showstopper centerpiece of the festival.
You get the impression his favorite flavor is actually pears.
I love that.
So the rest of you, Armor, making cake, and so on and so forth. You get you have time. You have perhaps days, even a week at your disposal. We went over a little bit of this last session, but does anybody have anything extra they wish to put in here? Something brief?
Is there? And so, how goes the audition process for the low?
It's right. The audition. It is a lengthy process. You continue to make your way up through the ranks. The hardest part about it, Jack, is the waiting in line. These interminable lines that once you get into the actual building where the audition is, you think, finally I've made it in, only to find that it's
more
just
lines,
people sitting around and just going over lines, going over words, going over everything, just
God, I hope
bouncing
I get
things
it.
up. Exactly. There's that right there. Tony, make a perception check for me.
A perception
Jack.
check. I can do that. I can do that. Go ahead. Yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with the Zelda dice. She's helped me before. Oof. All right, kid. Well, you're in a timeout. And that is, you said perception, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's a 16 total. That's 8 in the
16.
die.
Oh, very nice.
So.
Make a roll me a D8, please.
Oh, what?
A D8. Roll me a D8.
Roll a D8. Oh, a die I don't usually get to use.
Sounds promising.
I know, right? Use the goldfish die. A 4.
A 4. You overhear something. I heard the sovereign was going to be married off, and a jealous lover killed her. All these new souls falling are because kingdoms in the living world are warring over her. Poor girl.
Oh my goodness.
I love it.
Whoa.
Fascinating.
Can you say that again? Can I
Yes,
rewind that?
yeah.
Little...
I heard
taker.
the sovereign was going to be married off, and a jealous lover killed her. All these new souls falling are because kingdoms in the living world are warring over her. Poor girl.
Damn.
I love hot goss.
Win, what do you do?
Sorry, I actually have a question for
sure,
Win.
go right ahead.
That might affect
Okay.
what she's doing. Did you tell the group what you were trying to accomplish, trying to get answers about your daughter, and that you were waiting to talk to maybe one of the temples?
I think she's pretty closed-lipped unless she is directly asked, and if so, she'll give you a very direct answer. But because of what Pebble Moss did, she definitely told you that. She told everyone, so you would have been able to infer that she was getting in line to see the God of Wishes, and it would be pretty clear what her wish would be, what she wants to know.
I'm just putting this out there, Wen, but I could potentially attempt to commune with my god and get some answers.
Is this something you've always been able to offer me?
Yeah, you've seen me cast commune. You're just very you get kind of bristly whenever
Wow.
whenever things kind of come up surrounding your daughter, but I figured we're dead. What are you gonna do, kill me? So
I mean, maybe.
I thought I'd offer.
That's fair.
But I do have the
Yeah.
ability to cast a spell to ask some questions. I don't know how it will work here, because I haven't
I would
talked to
love
anybody at
to
my
try.
temple, but I could try.
If you're willing, let's please.
Okay. And I'm gonna try to cast commune for Win.
Oh my.
That could have been so much worse.
No,
You've been sitting
we're-
on this whole time.
Quinn is bristly, but she's also super fair.
Yeah.
Like, you're right. Why would you have talked to me about my kids?
You've like every time we've sort of brought up anything related, you've gotten like real like shut that down. So
She only talked to the wolf.
She is the Jahira of the party. Yeah.
So
a hundo P. A hundo P.
Dawn, you have cast commune before
Mhm.
from the mortal plane. You don't think that there's any reason why it wouldn't work the same here. However, whenever you do magic, and especially the divination magic, there is a pull towards the road to eternity. The temples there to gods of regret in particular. I want to reiterate, you don't think that the spell will fail. However, it has the potential to work really, really well if you cast it in the temple.
okay.
Which would necessitate waiting in line.
Okay, so I can cast it not at the temple, but to do it
Yes.
physically in the temple, I'd have to get a coin because you can't get into the temple without the coin. I have a coin waiting in line.
You could probably yeah.
But like they wouldn't let me just like come and hang out in the temple and cast a spell kind of thing.
Likely not.
I mean, we could try it, and then if it doesn't work, I have a coin that I'm waiting for my temple. You have this one, and we could always try again later if it doesn't work. But we could try now.
That sounds good.
Okay, you'll get 3 questions, and they have to be yes or no questions.
Hard.
Okay, well,
This
she
is
thinks-
partially why I wanted to ask. I was like going to try to jump in early because if she was going
Sure.
to have to come up with questions, I wanted to let you
Yeah.
work through other people.
While this is happening, let's move on to other people while she thinks about the question she's going to ask.
And also, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So the coins are very valuable.
Mhm.
Did we just get regular breastplates, or did we get something special, or is it 1 coin for 2 breastplates?
Iridescent breastplate.
You have enough gold or enough coin or enough treasure, shall we say, to get a perfectly serviceable breastplate. However, you could get one custom made with whatever designs you want. Nothing magical, but you could get something beautiful if that's what you want. Might not be ready right now. You have enough coin to get one right now and commission a better one as well. So
do that. Do that.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah, I'll do that. I'll do
Okay.
that. I'll commission
Please God.
something that matches my dress.
all right. Could talk
Priorities.
about your new look once that moment arrives. But yes, that goes for all of you. Let's see. While you're getting your coins exchanged, make a perception check for me, please, Soku, for Dusk.
Me as well while I'm
Perception?
exchanging?
Yeah. Yes.
Perception. 14.
21.
Hey, all right.
21. Could you roll me a D8, please? Dawn.
What is this D8?
4.
A 4. Roll again.
1.
You hear somebody speaking under their breath around a corner to somebody else. They're keeping their voice very secretive. I've seen people lose themselves to becoming whites before, but they never work together. Everyone is saying that they're all starting to move together out there, like one giant army.
Oh. I would,
Get that armor.
yeah, I would definitely tell the group about that.
Oh yeah. By the way, yeah, Yak absolutely flew back and told everybody that little gossip. Heard it.
The tidbit, yeah.
I want to stress that these things you're hearing are rumors.
Mhm.
They have the potential to be both true or
My
false.
hand to the gods. This is what's
Maybe
actually
both.
happening.
And I think Dawn would get just very simple, like something very well made, but just simple. She's not really
All right.
flashy for the most part.
Okay. What are your questions, Win?
Okay, do I have to have all 3 of them, or can I ask one and then adjust?
No, you don't.
what
You
the
can
other-
ask them one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you find a quiet place.
Yeah.
perhaps even the garden, the still garden.
Yeah, I would take you to where I've been meditating.
You see Calmer. He seems a little distraught, but he does greet you and give a customary, a gentle nod. And it's a bunch of people sitting around being quiet and meditating and speaking softly to one another. There's a lot of positive thinking.
Win hates
Yeah,
it.
it's
Figured you would.
So the first question I want to know is, does she still exist?
okay. I guess I will take the minute to get myself ready, and then I will grab my pendant and cast commune. And I will ask, what's your daughter's full name?
Zaressa.
Zaressa. Does
Zaressa.
Wynn's daughter Zaressa still exist?
All right, so you concentrate, you hold on to your holy symbol and send your thoughts inward, and then from there, send them out and up, trying to make that contact with your deity. It happens instantly, almost as if rather than him being in another building, he's just in the next room.
Okay. Oh,
And you don't, it's not a full regard, you don't feel yourself shrinking under the regard of a god, but it's as if you instead of having to make several connections, you had a direct line. So the answer comes back to you.
yes.
And she visibly reacts. Is she happy?
Is Zaressa happy? Yes.
And this time, not just a reaction, but tears start to spill down, and she says, does she remember me?
Does she remember Wynn, her mother?
Mommy.
I didn't hear it, did I?
I think I just heard it right.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell. I heard the voice. The voices were kind of. I heard mommy.
You said it had to be a yes or no answer.
That's what it's always had to be. But it's the yes or no doesn't always have to be the word yes or no. Maybe hearing the mommy was the yes. She remembers you.
Do you think you heard her?
When I heard the voice, did it sound like...
It sounded like the voice of a little child.
It sounded like a child.
I can't believe it.
I am sorry that I didn't offer to do this sooner, but
No, maybe it was good.
I will tell you, it felt like I've done this before. It's never felt like that.
Maybe she's close.
Make a religion check for me, please, Dawn.
My heart was going
22.
so fast.
22.
Nice.
Based on how this went, you think you might actually be able to act as a conduit and have Wynn pose the questions directly to your deity
Oh, shit.
through you if you were to cast the spell from the temple.
I would tell Wynn that if I was to cast this from the Azuth temple, I think that you could ask the questions directly, and I would just be like a sending stone for you.
All right. All right.
And I already have a coin for the temple.
All right.
No, she
No.
needs one.
Oh, yeah, do I?
One coin per person, my love.
Is it?
Uh,
Is that
yes,
actually
it
how
is
it works?
one. Yes,
Okay.
1 coin per person. But you can get a coin from literally any line almost. So if you wanted, you could get handfuls of essentially copper pieces, which are just coins at the back of lines.
Would that be similar to the piece that Dawn just got, or is she ahead in the line now?
I got mine a couple
Like,
days
by-
ago, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it wouldn't
would
be significantly behind.
not
It would
significantly,
Be...
no.
Okay, so she would definitely go get that coin.
Alrighty. One more rumor, I think. Let's see. I think
I'd
this
go
rumor...
actively. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You
I
go
was
ahead.
just gonna say I'd actively go fishing for them in the gambling palace when I go to collect ingredients for the cake.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So make a perception check for me.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, an 11.
Interesting. Well, there's enough people whispering this rumor that you're still able to pick it up from numerous voices. There's a new arrival in Noxvalar. Seems somehow to be unbound by the bindings that hold everything in this afterlife together. The stranger is clearly obsessed with learning things, but calamity seems to follow him everywhere.
Jock?
You are able to get a name of this person. It is Mike Auburn.
Mike Auburn.
Mike Auburn. It's
Oh,
Mike Auburn is the name.
Mike Auburn.
You ask a few more questions, but this rumor seems to not lead anywhere in particular. However, a rumor that is far more interesting. I thought the Ashen Shepherds were angels, but it turns out they're just people like us.
So anybody could be one.
John, did you get that I said Calmer seemed a little agitated?
I did, but you were so after help. I just would have been so focused on Win initially.
Sure.
And then after she, I say, I need. Are you okay to go to the temple and get her? I'd let her go get her coin,
Right.
and I would approach Calmer.
All right. He looks at you. He seems a little agitated. He's pawing the ground with his hoof. And he says, it is good to see you again.
You don't seem as calm
I
as
have
normal.
not been able to have my customary meditations. In fact, many here are having difficulty. A returning vision. One of great distress. It is as if there is something chasing me, blood-stained. It wants revenge. I have spoken to this matter with my meditation circle, and I am not the only one who has experienced it. Makes me think that there is some strange occurrence that we all share, that we're just now beginning to remember. Perhaps some repressed trauma, which could mean we're making progress. But it is quite unsettling.
Sounds it. And you're all having this when you attempt to meditate?
Not all of us, but many of, shall I say, the more practiced meditators.
Oh. And you think it's something that you all maybe experience like here?
To be truthful, I have no idea what it is, but it is very potent.
There's been some weird things happening here, apparently, the past little bit.
You say as you're having this conversation, yet another few individuals streak across the sky and crash somewhere down inside Noxvalar, becoming a regular occurrence. And the Nixian Guard are now quite accustomed to it and are quickly swarming to these areas. And if there are indeed fights occurring, separate the individuals and quickly escort them out of Nox Valar. So it is not as disruptive as it has been, but it is still quite bizarre based on how things are usually here, apparently.
Is there anything I can do to help you guys?
No, you were kind to ask. I thought you should know. If you experience similar things, please tell me. We will get to the bottom of this. Nothing that we cannot achieve with calm, quiet focus.
I mean, I just started meditating, but I would have, since I saw him the first time, been attempting to practice.
Sure.
Would anything weird have happened, or would I just
Not
been...
in your meditation.
I was like,
you go to meditate,
I fall asleep?
your thoughts. Yeah, exactly. Fall asleep. That is
Amateur.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
So-
I'm not having like weird dreams or any of
You're
that
not.
kind of thing. Okay.
No.
Okay. I would definitely tell the group about my, or no,
All right. So, time passes as you experience Nox Valar, continue to do the things you've been doing, and waiting in line for some of you. Johann finds you. And he finds you all outside the tenements in the square. That's probably a place which you gather on a fairly regular basis. It's the most obvious place for everyone to meet. It's close to where food is served, and of course that's where Niall is all the time. Apparently, he comes forward and seems troubled. Hard to tell with no facial features, but he's moving with a shuffling gait, and he stops and he says, "I have distressing news. I have let my fellow Ashen Shepherds know that the individual who was annihilated by the fallen individuals was a friend of yours, my wards. We all help each other out when there's matters of import, and there is no sign of him having returned. Which does not mean that he hasn't. It just means that he hasn't been found. And it is very chaotic out there now, so it's possible he's just lost in the shuffle. But
Are there any
Well,
other means to find him besides physically?
Magic perhaps, but we're very good at finding souls. But these fighters that are arriving, there's so many of them, and more arriving every day. It's, as I said, it's chaos. But you need not worry about that. You continue doing what you're doing, and I might want, well, let me just say, I would like for you to continue just being normal souls here in Nox Valar, but you all, as I said, I spoke about your strength, your potency. Strength means a different thing here in Nox Valar, the Sunless Crossing. You don't necessarily have a strength of arm or even a strength of mind, but a strength of will. The ability to shout into the void that you exist. Perhaps not literally, but that is very strong within all of you, and as such, I think that you actually can help. I have been approached by some pale horsemen. They are messengers. They are what's called unhallowed. They have the ability to travel back to the mortal realm without much memory of here while they're there, but when they return, they retain memories of what they have seen. That's not the point. They are very useful servants for the godless monarchy, and I think they could use your help. So with your permission, I would like to introduce you to some of them and see if you can
We would be
find
honored.
out some information about what's happening out there.
Of course, Johan.
Mhm.
Yes.
Of course.
It's not nothing to be alarmed about, as has been said. It's just unusual, but
Hey, anything that
Can-
gets me out of waiting
He
in a
le-
line.
Can I
He leans
insight
in.
check
Go ahead.
Johan on this
Well,
whole?
just a second here. He does lean in and he says, the souls that are arriving can all see the city upon arrival. That should not be. And, well, I'm sure the godless monarchy have considered it, but I overheard some of the pale horsemen speak. Well, I'll let them speak for themselves when you meet them, but tomorrow.
Johan,
Can
we will help. Please, please, please keep looking for Corcoran.
Oh, of course, absolutely. That's my number one priority. Did not know the fellow personally, but he seemed very important to you, which means he is important to me. So I will keep my eyes open.
Johan is saying like nothing to worry about, and he's sure that it's all kind of under control and stuff. I want to insight. I want to
don't think
insight.
you need an insight check.
Make an insight check if you must, but go ahead.
I want to see how much. 27. 27. I want to know
27. So,
how
it is clear that his
worried
job,
he
his
legitimately
primary,
seems.
His primary focus is to see that new souls are well acclimated into Noxvillar and have a good experience here, and then eventually he will help you find your way to whatever afterlife it is that you're going to, unless you are resurrected, of course. So he's very focused on that. He wants this to go well for you all, but he's also quite worried. And it is interesting, the number of souls that you saw streaking across the sky at the junction, these red tinged souls that came pouring out of the sky, dozens and dozens, and he said that he was expecting a great influx of new souls arriving. They haven't come.
Oh. Okay.
DM, just as we have been here for what, like a couple weeks, maybe, have we ever seen somebody resurrected? Like, do we just see people online?
Just like somebody walking down the street,
and
like,
they
"What- poof, what's happening? What's happening? Mid conversation. That is not something
That's
I
a
considered.
great question.
It's like, you know,
It's like a mini raptor.
The imagery alone.
Finally, I'm starving.
A singular
no!
Full house. That image alone is worth contemplating. I don't think. I think that is exactly what happens. People are just in mid conversation and have no say. Now, of course, there are people who are actively trying to get resurrected, trying to get word back to loved ones through the Pale Horsemen. Most of the people in line for the various temples are there to petition the priests and their deity there to contact somebody in the mortal realm to resurrect them. But yeah, I think when it happens, nobody has any knowledge or control over it, and so it could literally just happen mid-sentence.
Okay.
I'll have
To move on the other way, to leave the other way by like just moving on to your final place, you go through one of the temples for that, if I understood, or through the
temples. The keepers of the sands of time will tell you how likely it is you are to remain here. There are a number of things that need to happen. It seems to be that it's a balance between whether or not you have the potential to be resurrected and what time frame that is. That's what the keepers of the eternal sand kind of are keeping a watch out on, but also what you have going on with your own soul, whether or not you actually are ready to move on to your afterlife.
Transcend.
Okay, I'm getting like a Coco vibe, wherein like as long as there's somebody who remembers you.
Sure, that
From
could
when
certainly
you were
be a factor
alive.
in why
Oh.
you could get resurrected.
Okay.
There's not a it's not a clearly defined set of variables. It's different for everybody.
For how you like move on, if you
Mhm.
choose to move on, if you end up moving on to your afterlife instead of being resurrected, kind of thing.
Right.
Mhm.
So, and as Johan says, the next day he does arrive to meet you all, and he has some, for all intents and purposes, they look like adventurers. They're actually a little ragged. Their armor seems a little used. They have sort of a veteran look to them. One of them is a tall man, elderly, has a bandana around his head, covering over one eye, and doesn't look like he has a scar, but doesn't look like it's an active wound. But the bandana is still there. He's tall. He's wearing piecemeal armor. They're all wearing piecemeal armor, and he seems to be the leader. There's one behind him that's extremely young. Couldn't be more than 15 or so, but has a sort of dark eyes and pugnacious look. And then there is a not fat but well-rounded, a husky dwarven woman. She has long red hair, has a tankard that is around her waist, and a staff. Has a
Stop.
perhaps a familiar look to one of you.
Hmm.
But as they approach, the Johan steps up and he says, these are the pale horsemen that I was telling you about. There's quite a few of them. These are just the ones that have contacted me. This right here is Teoquin. Teoquin steps forward and nods and says, that's right. Johan says that you are capable. Looking for capable people now. Unless you're too busy cooking, or reading, meditating, all the other things that we've been told you've been up to.
We can make time.
Anything to get us out of these lines.
We're very capable.
So, it would seem clear that there are two very heavily armed camps forming outside the Sunless Crossing. There's two groups. There must be some major conflict happening somewhere between them. We know one of them is called the Accursed Guard, and the other one is the Legionnaires.
Wonder who the bad guys are.
We're not casting blame, or at this point, however, they hate each other. That is beyond obvious.
And these groups are set up in the fields outside in the Sunless Crossing?
They are. They have magic users among them, summoning the supplies and goods needed to build actual encampments.
Oh.
And their numbers are growing every day, and they can see the city. We're not undefended here, but the Sovereign is in no mood to consider a siege. We want to find out the information we can while we can before it comes to that. Perhaps this is a conflict that can be resolved peacefully. If so, would like you to look into it.
Let's do it.
And if you're looking for someone to negotiate, bologna is quite good.
Oh my god.
I'm not familiar with a baloney.
Jack, why? Why? He's going to kill you.
You're rabble rousing.
Me?
Listen, Francis.
All of
You're
us.
going to
all of us
choose
get so
to use a name that
killed.
I don't identify with. Be prepared to have the favor returned. Are we understood?
Careful, dog. You're not the
Mr.
only one that
Meyer.
has a bite.
I'm not afraid of you, little man.
Jack, Niall.
Guys,
This is not the time.
there's enough dangers outside of the group without fighting inside of it.
And Wynn gives a sharp look to Jack. Stop calling him that. He's asked
Done?
several times.
All right. I think we will take our break there.
I'm imagining
As,
it's the Pale Horseman going, okay then, we'll just,
how about we take a break?
Right, that's
yeah,
lunch.
Yeah, we're going to take a break, and we will resume with you leaving Nox Valar and heading out into the Sunless Crossing to see what you can learn about these two encampments and what is in fact going on.
Get to actually adventure for a second.
Oh,
I know it's
Hey.
exciting.
oh.
So, see you back here in 5. And welcome back. Maybe? Are we ready?
There's a cat.
Should I start again?
There's a cat.
Oh. All right.
She's
well
ready,
then,
apparently.
If the cat is ready, then we are ready as well. So as I said, welcome back. If you're just joining us, the adventurers have been exploring and learning more about Nox Valar, trying to locate the soul of Corcoran Pebblemoss, their friend that has been annihilated. They had a moment with the sovereign Ashlyn. But before we get too much further into what's going on with that, I would like to say thank you once again to our very excellent sponsors, Storytellers Forge, who are the writers and the producers of the Black Ballad, which is what we are currently playing here on Severed Threads, notes from the Black Ballad. Also, Diamorte, the music that you're listening to right now, purposefully written for this module. We thank Drake and Diamorte for their sponsorship and the amazing music that they wrote. Also, the artwork commissioned by Kai. We commissioned Kai for our art for our various characters, including one for me. Never happens.
It's so badass.
The DM gets
It's
a picture.
so good.
The glowing eyes.
Very
I'm
grateful
obsessed.
for that. I will treasure it always. The information for all three of those individuals or organizations can be found in our chat. You should check them out. Especially Storytellers Forge, because if you go there right now and mention this stream, if you go to their Discord right now and mention Sever Threads, then you will be entered into a raffle to win something cool from them. And if you go to my Discord, Medium Rare, link in the chat, and mention Severed Threads, then you'll be entered into a raffle to win some dice. So, go. Enter.
Get those clickety
Win.
clackities.
It's
Very,
that easy.
yeah. So, why wouldn't you do it? You can't afford not to do it, frankly.
Really?
Exactly.
You could just choose to be dumb, I guess.
Not going to do it in this
No.
economy.
Regardless
That
of
part.
whether you enter or not, we are glad you're here. So
But
now
you would
let
be
me
dumb.
get back into our description. So yes, the adventurers, the newly dead, the betwixt, as they are referred to by the people in Nox Valar. They have met with the sovereign and spoken to her about their experience with these two individuals, Kelzir and Janos, that turned out to be two fighters of these two warring factions, the Accursed Guard and the Legionnaires. They are apparently dying by the droves, these two factions somewhere in the multiverse, and their souls are coming here to the Sunless Crossing en masse, which is unusual, but not something that can't be dealt with. However, as they are arriving, they are seeing the city of Nox Valar, and they are not meeting with shepherds that will take them to the Atonement Grove. They are not acclimating to the fact that they are here in the afterlife and are continuing their fight, it would seem. As such, the city of Nox Valar, the city of the dead, is in a precarious position, as it is the most obvious strategic point now between these two warring camps. The Pale Horsemen, individuals who work for the godless monarchy, those that rule Nox Valar, have requested the help of the adventurers. Their numbers are worn thin, as are the numbers of the Nixian Guard, dealing with all of these souls arriving at once and very confused. So these adventurers, having shown themselves to be very capable, they have been enlisted to find out more information about these two warring factions, and they are leaving Nox Valar to see what they can learn. Does anybody have anything they wish to do before you leave? Any last bit of
imagine
equipment you
both-
want to buy?
Jack and Niall are both in like super foul moods now
Yeah.
after the last altercation.
I mean, I got my
What?
breastplate on my shield, so I'm all set.
Yeah, right.
You're all set.
Yeah.
Let's
Mhm.
do
So
this.
as you step out of the city, once again passing down through the long tunnel that leads through the Mesa, that Noxvillar is built upon, and out into the Ashen Fields. What was once a very peaceful field, this golden wheat that stretches out in every direction, is crowded with desperate-looking and hopeful souls. You can see Nixian Guard flying overhead. You see what you assume to be shepherds leading groups, but they have a somewhat combative stance as they're moving through the Ashen Fields, because many of these individuals are wearing the singed uniforms of the Legionnaires, similar to what you saw Janos wearing, and others are wearing dented armor, which appears to be what most of the Accursed Guard wear. Each of these groups clearly war-scarred, but in their own way. And then, in addition to these individuals, you see other wandering souls, very young in some cases. Sometimes you see very old as well. They are free from the scars that these warring factions have. So definitely something about these two factions, this fight, the wounds and the battle detritus that they are experiencing in the mortal world as far as their physical forms are concerned, is carrying over with them somehow. Let's see here.
Yeah, I can't quite remember if that was normal to carry it. Like, if your throat is slit, do you show up with a slit throat?
You didn't.
But we were poisoned, so like.
It's a good point. You didn't show up with vomit and foam and all that
Gotcha.
all over you. So, as you are walking, a snatch of little melody comes wafting over the air. Dawn, you have an extremely high passive perception, as I recall.
Mhm.
You hear it. It's there's a young man who's following a shepherd. Does not look like the skeletal version of Johann, but clearly a shepherd. This cudgel that Johann carries seems to be somewhat of a badge of office. This staff, this very gnarled staff at the top, and walking along, coaxing them along, and trying to explain many of the things that you heard Johann saying to you as well. But one of these individuals is humming a little tune. It seems somewhat familiar, sort of kind of a march, sort of a walking song that
Can
goes by.
I place it?
Sure, make an intelligence check, just straight intelligence.
Straight intelligence.
I don't suppose I would hear this as well.
Nat
with a
1.
passive of 18.
You would probably hear it as one. Yes.
Oh,
With a natural 1 on the roll, Dawn, you know you've heard the song before, but you cannot tell where.
having a little better ear for music and a passive of 18 as well.
I'll allow you to roll as well. As what have you rolled, Niall?
I got a 6 with
Yeah.
my +4.
Did you roll a
Something about
2?
this tune.
Everybody get your shit rolls
I
out
did.
now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
I rolled 16.
so it's just intelligence.
Yes, straight intelligence.
Great, so that is literally just a straight roll on the die.
Mhm.
All right. Come on, fish die. That is a 6. Wow. Ugh.
Total?
we don't know
So
this
the song is just
Wait, what did you roll now?
now roll the 6.
I rolled a 6 on my intelligence roll.
Okay, yeah.
And what did Niall
6.
roll?
A 6.
Oh,
With
I
my
rolled
bonus.
16.
It's 16. What is your passive?
My passive was 18.
18.
Oh, well, hey.
We're a very
Uh,
attentive group.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't actually recognize it. You feel like it's right on the tip of your tongue as you go, oh yeah, that's, and there are words forming. You're sure that you've heard the song before, and then it goes, but you think it's significant.
Baby
How far away are these
shark,
people?
Damilax.
Baby shark.
How far away is this other shepherd and their little?
Close enough earshot that you were able to hear the idle humming under there.
Excuse
breath,
me?
Sorry.
Excuse me?
There's a blonde-headed woman with a sort of a kind of Robin Hood-esque garb on, that is wearing a cloak and has the cudgel as the shepherd steps forward in between you and the person that you're addressing. He says, I'm very sorry, but I must get these souls to the Atonement Grove.
I understand. I'm just one of them is humming a song, and I need to know what the song is.
What song are you humming? I don't know. Yeah, it just started. God, I can't get it out of my head.
Oh, God. Really the worst.
Right?
Okay.
Is what this thing saying true? Are we dead?
Mhm.
Oh, quite so. Yes.
We already did.
Is
We
that-
already did this.
Nah.
Okay.
DM, is it
mhm.
the same song that Jack thought he should know that Teely was
Playing. Yeah.
playing?
There's no way you could know that, Win.
Well, so in the time past that, so my thought was that since we all sort of reconvene in the evening when we get back to our humble abodes, Sean, I would
Mhm.
have been playing that melody on my bandor. So,
Right.
or at least trying to recreate the melody. So,
Well, with what you rolled on your intelligence check there, we will say that for some reason the exact notes it's in your mind clearly, but when you go to play it, it's not quite right. It's just almost as if maybe
Yeah.
it's not the right instrument for it.
oh, absolutely.
Maybe you need a drum, so you try it on your drum, or does it need
Yeah.
a flute, or you don't know.
Okay.
At any rate,
Sorry. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
It's so busy. And she moves on.
Okay. Okay. Do we have a plan? We kind of just walked out of the city and said, "Yeah, we'll deal with this." And
Well,
where are we
We're
going?
gathering
I-
information.
I do have some more things to say, if I may.
Mhm.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
please.
Thank you. Right. As you are traveling, I mean, you see souls dropping from the sky almost constantly. Some come rather close to the city, and some fall in the city as well. But almost immediately, Nixon guards are swooping down. You see very harried-looking shepherds running all around the ashen fields, just trying desperately to keep up with all this. You even see some more of these void ravages that you have fought at the junction, but the Nixian guard are alerted to the fact that they are here, and they are pouncing on them without mercy whenever they appear. But you see these rifts appearing, and then these creatures coming out, Nixian guards swooping in and annihilating anything that comes out. And then groups of skirmishers just falling out of the sky sometimes and resuming that fight immediately, or perhaps being dispatched by their various bands to feel out the other group. It seems clear just by looking at the deportment of this area that the accursed guards are in the east part of the Sunless Crossing, and that the Legionnaires are to the west. So, and then of course there's also the junction, potentially a place you could travel to get information as well. So those are your three main choices. What do you think you will choose?
I like the idea of going to neutral territory first to see what we can suss out before we go into a potential enemy camp.
I agree with Niall.
Sounds wise.
Because to be clear, we are looking to parlay between the two groups. Yeah.
Kind of sounds.
I think we're just gathering information at this point.
Information is good.
I-
Information is wise.
I think the idea is to
I
help
think they
them
want a peaceful
do
yeah,
a
peaceful resolution.
But these two
Well.
groups seem to hate each other. It sounds like. a little
Yes,
bit
that
trouble.
feels like an ambitious goal. Let's start with information, shall we?
Shall I drum up some mounts?
Not
No.
dolphins.
How far is it to the camps?
Mounts would probably be helpful.
Going to the inn first.
Oh, yeah, I think you're heading to the junction
Yeah.
first. The junction is roughly a day's walk from Knoxvillar, but if you all have mounts, it'll be far less.
Wynn would summon her Cerberus.
Milady.
Yes, milady.
So it'd be
I want art for that.
I
so
would say
badly.
Sir Burris, but it's not. It's Dame Burris, maybe.
Oh man, yeah.
But so
Yes, Jack, some mounts would be very useful.
Very well then. Jack goes ahead and again, like you see his hands suddenly morph into this owl claw. I see them.
as your hand morphs into the owl claw and you
Uh-oh.
prepare to cast this spell, I'm assuming you're using your Bandor.
Oh yeah.
All right. So you reach for your Bandor, but before you touch it, it actually plays by itself. Oh, and goes, foom, foom, foom,
That sounds like a.
and then falls silent.
Shh.
Was that intentional?
Did you do that?
Niall, I know we don't always see eye to eye. You seem particularly keen. Is anyone nearby?
I will take a look.
Everyone on your guard. And
Is this a
if you don't mind,
perception?
I'd like to get in the backpack.
We don't have a backpack.
How do we not have a backpack?
I've been asking that question for
You
days.
kept telling us to not get one, so we didn't.
Perception check, please, Niall.
Perception specifically. Okay.
Yes.
19.
I will aid Niall by
19.
being like right over his shoulder.
So, you are coming upon an area. The Ashen Fields are, for all intents and purposes, a plain, but there is topography. You're coming up an area where there's two hills, looks sort of a stone, but covered with the wheat and the ash as well. But they are reflecting the maelstrom above. There's a slight brightness to these two outcroppings, and it's not even large enough to call a canyon, just a passage between them, a copse of trees up ahead. And you see movement in that tree, and then you begin to hear a song that, being sung by a feminine voice, has a somewhat strained quality, as if it's under duress. And
Yak will
you hear the
immediately
words.
use invisibility on himself.
Yak turns invisible.
What?
Yak the Goblin King, lost in the night, fled from his throne in a pitiful fright. Too weak to rule, too quick to run, he traded his crown for a world of fun. He hides from his kingdom, hides from the throne, but a goblin king is never alone. But Jack the Fool runs from the cost. A king with no power is a king who is lost. And stepping out from around the copse, you see a green-skinned fey creature, quite clearly fey. Tapered ears like an elf, except much, much longer. And she seems to almost glow with magic. You see a lot of that glow is a vine or some sort of vegetation that seems to be actually growing through her body. As it reaches her neck and sprouts out, as it leaves the body, it immediately withers and turns to ash and falls away. This is happening constantly as she steps around the corner and looks at the group.
Jack, who is this?
Can I sense if she is dead or if she has the illusion of not being dead and being out of place here?
Do you have an ability to know whether or not a creature is undead by looking at them?
Not undead, but you said specifically that creatures here who are alive, like Teely, like the person who
yes.
So is this somebody
not glowing in that way?
No. Okay. All right.
Who are you?
Names are precious. Are you
What are you?
suspicious?
Very.
She steps forward. Master, I sense you near. The key you stole, without it, I'll never be whole.
State your intention.
Wynn has drawn her greatsword.
Searched I for it throughout creation. Desperate was I for its location. Jack, Goblin King, hid it well you did with your every breath. But now it calls to me, revealed by death. She steps closer, and you see that she's not alone. There are two individuals in the copse of trees with her, both of them wearing armor, and you see emblazoned on it an image of a sickle. They wear hoods, and there is a power radiating around them. It looks like spectral armor almost, in addition to the physical armor that they're wearing, except it is bristling with spikes and blades.
Can I identify the sigil?
Sure, make a history check.
24.
24. Well, this sickle has been used by many creatures and many organizations over time. However, you most recently saw it on the tattered clothing of Kelsier.
What do I know anything about the history of what it might come from, or is that information beyond that?
That is information, I think, beyond anything that you would know, especially since you spent the last several months as a wolf.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was a very attentive wolf. I took lots
Fair
of
enough.
notes. Okay.
The creature looks around, and as she does, her eyes flash with a sickly green light, and she focuses right at you, Jack.
Hello, Yantezul.
Your stature, Lord, it is most changed.
Had
Prefer
to-
you this?
Had to travel light.
She moves around. As she does, she sways back and forth like a tree would in the wind. However, with each step, you can see that there's a tenseness crawling over her muscles. And you see them beginning to, the vine in the center seems to be growing from the very center of her, spreads out and moves over her arms and twists and knots like corded muscle. Your other form, I served your will. Perhaps it is my turn to be master. What a thrill.
I am sorry.
Go ahead.
I am sorry to learn of your passing, friend. But as you know, all things must end. Your chase pursuit of me is in vain. Let it go and ease your pain.
Is Jack still invisible?
No, I've dropped invisibility. And the minute she flashed her beam at me, I was like, yeah, right, fine.
Wynn will have ridden Milady in between you and her, or at least get closer.
Jack, as he sees you go to make this movement, he'll put his hand up to stop you. He's looking to put himself between the party and these creatures.
Yeah, but she doesn't.
But you're Win, I know.
Yeah. And Dawn
She-
is also getting
Go ahead.
like really close to you, so that if something goes bad,
She stretches, and you see power beginning to course down her arms and begins to
Do not.
glow in her hands. And she says, I traveled to a city grand. Yon Kath its name, in a shaded land. Grand indeed, with a grander king, 'twas he who taught me everything. No more by Titania's hand feed I. That pact is broken, its weight laid by. But Dorian King showed us all the way. The pact is gone, but my powers stay. And the power between her hands begins to crackle.
I say, Jack looks behind him to everybody. He's like, brace yourselves. This is going to be a fight.
Take one more step and it will be your last. Move by and let us pass.
I would listen. She'll put you on your ass.
Jan Thazel looks at you and then looks towards Wynn and then looks back at you, and her eyebrow raises. A caring heart. 'Tis most plain. She shall die then. So you know my pain. And with that, we will roll initiative.
All right.
Glad to meet Jack's friends.
Yeah.
This is
Whoa.
Feywild Dr. Seuss.
Whoa. Look, there are protocols within the Aurora Court. Like, you just gotta do the thing, all right?
Indeed.
I'm holding. All right, here we go.
All right, do we have tokens up on the board?
We do.
Go.
Yes.
That's a terrible time for a nat 20.
Oh,
my
God, here they all come.
Bullying. What just happened?
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
No.
Guys, what is wrong with us?
I don't know.
Don't worry,
Where was
everybody.
this?
I rolled a 14.
There we go. Okay, we're keeping it real.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Vamp, please. I'm having some slow internet problems.
No, of course.
All right, Jack, what can you tell us of this monster?
This is the former warden of the labyrinth. She was a dear friend of mine, and it looks like, and clearly is obvious to the rest of you, she's fallen on some rough times. She's a powerful warlock, though, so do not underestimate her. As well as, I don't know what the hell or who
Wow.
King Dorian is.
I rolled high as well. We've got a lot of high rolls on the board.
Well, that looks like
What
Fantastic.
does she want, Jack?
I took when I left my realm, I had to unlock the labyrinth and then lock it back up. I had a key to the labyrinth. It's a way in and out. She's the warden. It's precious to her. I took it. I might still have it, but regardless, it's my way back. If I ever decide to go back, though, clearly that's not really an option anymore. But
I think we're ready to begin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're vamping.
no,
During
it was a
our
great
last-
vamp. Yes, thank you.
During our last rest, could I have taken the opportunity to give some friends some dice through my skill, Caretaker's Mantle? So this is a skill for the godless. As the spark grows, you become a more dedicated and effective steward of both in it and those who you care for. When you finish a short rest, you may tap into the spark and share its wisdom with friendly creatures of your choice within 30 feet. Each affected creature gains a special d20, which lasts for 1 hour. When an affected creature makes an attack roll, saving throw, ability check, it could choose to roll the special d20 and pick its result.
So it's like a luck point.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I would have given that to the party before we left.
I will allow it.
does everyone get one? Do you have enough to give everyone one?
Yeah, it just says each affected creature gains a special d20, and it says within 30 feet.
That's
When you finish a short rest, you may tap into the spark. So
man.
we will assume I will allow that right
Because we
before
knew
you
we were
left,
leaving.
you
Yeah.
took a short rest. I will allow that.
Yeah.
Sure. So it lasts
Okay.
for an hour. The question, I suppose, is whether or not you've been out here an hour.
That's your call.
It is my call. I tell you what, we'll leave it up to dice. It's a cool feature,
Okay.
but this is a long journey, and the fact that prey has happened, that combat has happened to fall upon you within the hour, there is a chance that might not be the case. So tell you what, roll a d6 for me on a
D6.
roll of 5 or 6. It has succeeded.
I rolled a 2.
A 2 is not going to be so.
So for a while, everyone felt really wise,
Great,
and then
awesome.
it just
I love
Could
it.
have used
That's
could have
actually
used it
probably
for
why we
some of
rolled
those.
so high on initiative.
Yeah,
That's
you could-
yeah.
that's right. That's right. That's what came in right there. And yes, of course, we need to get Milady on the board, and
Get
she
your
will have
girls.
She's a
she will
plus
have
2
a
dex.
her own. Let's see here. More vamping while I find a token for Milady.
All right.
You want me to roll for her?
Yes, please.
Here she goes.
So yeah,
Jack.
So she's a
Uh,
warlock, and we
She's
should
a
not
warlock.
be in this clustered pattern that we are right now.
yeah, no, that's it.
Fantastic.
We should
Awesome.
definitely spread out a little bit, friends.
Talk
Insane.
about the dice giveaway.
Hey, we're
Right.
giving away dice.
Go
There we
into
go.
Sean's
Yeah.
Discord and mention this stream and be
the
entered
black
to
separate
win
threads.
some dice, because dice are awesome. Hopefully they roll better for
yeah.
you than some of our rolls have been for us.
Uh-huh.
I am still
Yeah.
laughing about the how could you afford not to in this economy?
It's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't
seriously.
bought
It
new
is
dice
true.
in a long time.
That's
Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
Alrighty.
And also Storytellers Forge with their own giveaway too, so there's
Absolutely.
chances for 2 different
and
We're talking
there's a
gifts
link
on
for
gifts
that
on gifts.
in the chat.
So
All
watch
right.
your free story and get free stuff.
We're
Free
so good at
stuff.
vamping, you guys.
Thanks for that, guys. That's really something. That was
That means we
perfect.
all get inspiration, right? Inspiration.
Heroic inspiration for all.
I'm certainly inspired.
No, you're not. You don't know.
Wait a damn minute. Yeah.
All right.
So what did you roll for Milady?
14.
A 14
12
total.
plus 2.
All right. So 14 plus 2, so 16.
No, 12 plus 2.
Okay, got it. Don, I need help. All right, that's going to bring us now to win at the top of the order with a 23.
Top of the order.
So
Top
I
of the order
imagine
to you.
if I want to get closer so that I can do something, I have to get off of Milady.
Well, you take. It'll say that you were on Milady. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
for sure.
Yeah.
You're traveling.
Well,
so,
and you did previously say that you were near me when you were.
yeah, that makes sense too. We'll go ahead and put you there.
Great.
Your instinct to go in front, but he backs you off. So you want to be right there like that. Okay. So you don't have to use half your movement to get on, but if you want to use your mount's speed, you have to wait until your mount's turn, and all you have to do is hold an action until you get there, unless you want to do something at range.
I want to do something right now, so I am going to get off of the mount.
Okay, so that is half your movement to dismount.
Okay. So 15, 20, 25, 30.
You go
And I'm
charging
going
forward.
to turn the Faithless.
Turn the Faithless.
I'm using my channel divinity to utter an ancient words that are painful to Fae and fiends to hear, and I present my holy symbol, which is a heart with a dagger through it. So I should be able to at least get this bad
Yeah, indeed.
shit right here.
So, tell me about these words that you say.
Don't hurt
my
friend.
Ancient words.
Oh, my friend.
Fag crush.
Yeah.
She would her voice would start to echo, and she would say, "Your life is forfeit. Your blood is your blood is spilt. Turn now, or pay the price." There you go. That's what she said.
That didn't
All right.
rhyme.
I tried. I was like, I don't have something.
It doesn't
so-
sound
It's better in Sylvan, yes.
Yeah.
In the original Celestial, it sounds.
It's beautiful.
So,
It rhymed, yeah.
It's lost in translation.
you begin to say this, and your weapon begins to glow, and the power exudes from you, and you watch it wash over this obviously fey-looking creature. And she does cringe from it, almost as if she expects it to cause something, and she then seems to have no effect on her, which can only mean one thing: she's not actually fey.
Oh. I scream that back.
We don't fade up.
Anything else, Win?
Nope.
All right, that's gonna bring us to the accursed guard.
I guess I can't like hold an action because I just spent an action. But
Just spend an action, yeah.
Okay, I would.
Sorry.
That's fine.
All right, so this accursed guard right here suddenly steps forward. As he does, a blade appears in his hand, and he begins to cast a spell. As he does, you notice there are no material components. Doesn't say anything, just begins to wrap his arms around himself with his sword up in the air, and as it comes down, he watches the form that he was, just the one, splits into three. Actually four. The same thing happens to the other one, and the two of them split. This one runs over here out of sight from the majority of you, but not Win. This one is going to run over here also, and behind this copse of tree that's there. Not visible, not directly targetable. That is going to bring us to Dawn.
Okay. When I saw them before, besides the fact that they obviously just cast something, did they look like more like melee type? Like were they like holding swords, kind of like?
Well, they definitely are
wind
wearing
vibes?
armor, and they definitely have swords. However, they both seem to be having some sort of magical protection that is. I talked about the spectral armor that has spectral spikes and blades on it. That would clearly seem to be some sort of magic. And the spell that they just cast was, you're familiar with it. You've seen Jack do it, or maybe not Jack.
Nile.
I was gonna say
No.
Nile, but Nile's been a wolf, so I guess maybe you.
I've done mirror
but-
image.
You
Yeah,
have?
I've done mirror
Okay.
image.
in
Fair
the
enough.
inn,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Zoom tight.
I guess I will. Oh. Okay, I'm going to. Hearing her threaten Win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get up closer to Win.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use my action to. I'm gonna attempt to create a bond of empathy with her, and I'm going to extend out my consciousness to attempt to develop a psychic impression of this creature. Now I realize just now that it doesn't work on constructs or undead, so I'm not sure if this is gonna work because
Okay.
you said she's not fey, so I'm gonna attempt to tether to her psychically. Do I feel?
So, what does it look like when you try to tether to her? You described it before, but
I send
love to
out
hear it again.
a pink tendril of my own consciousness to wrap around the. It kind of heads from my heart to their heart because it tethers us empathically. So yeah, and it's just like a thin thread of pink magic.
The thread weaves out from you, moving back and forth, and it reaches her and passes right through and dissipates on the other side of her. Does not take hold.
Guys,
Whoa.
she's kind of like Hugo. She's not really. She's dead. She's not dead. She's undead. Or she's a construct,
She-
but I don't think she's a construct. She doesn't look robotic.
Doesn't that mean that that your ability, that your attack would have landed on her, Win?
Not return the faith. Oh yeah. No.
Wait, so you said turn the faithless. I didn't hear undead in there.
Fey or fiend. Yeah, it's not
Fey or
undead.
fiend.
Fair
Yeah.
fiend. Okay.
It wasn't turn undead. It's turn the faithless.
And then I guess as a bonus action, because I just remembered I have spiritual weapons. So I'm gonna cast spiritual weapon, and I'm gonna bomb my mace with its dead hyacinths right next to her, and take a swing. Does a 14 hit?
It does not.
Okay.
So it appears to be
That's my turn.
being protected by this this branch, this vine that is wrapped around her and moving. And as I said, it continues to grow over her body, almost like a circulatory system as it moves. But as it reaches her extremities and her shoulders, it withers away and dies as soon as it begins to leave her body. Anything else, Dawn?
That's my turn. That's all my things.
All right. Alrighty, Jan Thazel is looking down at herself and feels very empowered by all the things just happened. She ducks out of the way of this spiritual weapon, and she raises up a hand. As she does, a mote of light begins to glow there. It looks like very, very bright, like you're beginning to look into the sun itself, and you have to turn your eyes away. As she gets to the point where it couldn't possibly be any brighter, she lets out a scream and sends a line of fire straight down towards Wynn, hitting Wynn, Dawn, Jack, Milady, and Dusk.
Oh my god.
I noticed that we
enough to
were
line up
lined
for
up
me.
in a really unfortunate
Yes.
line.
I counterspell.
You counterspell.
Nice.
She counterspells.
I counterspell.
Can you do
You can
that?
only counterspell once.
Oh
my
shit! I only have
friends.
one reaction.
Yeah.
No.
I don't.
So-
I don't have counter spells.
Send out your,
into eternity.
you're spending your counter spell, and it reaches out to break the magic that she's creating, and she gives it another pulse, and it annihilates the spell that you were casting. And
Well,
a
at
wall
least
of
use the
fire
resource.
shoots out. So she's going to have the effective part of it be the part that is facing to the northwest here. And I believe I can get this so that it goes out 60 feet, 20 feet tall, and 5 feet wide. And the side that is facing to the northwest is the side that the fire is shooting out of. So I need everybody who's affected by that, which is going to be all the people in that line, to make a dexterity saving throw.
Anybody within 10 feet of me is getting that aura of warding, so you can take half if you,
Which is like a plus to the saving throw.
no, it's just gonna lessen your damage.
Oh, well, that's good.
Well,
Don't you also
do you not have
an
an aura?
You also have
Yeah.
the aura that you get to add to people's saving throws.
Yeah.
As a paladin.
Yeah.
'Cause you-
Your
'cause you
aura
can-
is up. Everybody within 15 feet of you gets to add your charisma modifier to their saving throws.
Alright, +3, but I also have, an aura of warding.
Yeah, you have two
Mhm.
auras.
You
Yeah.
have 2 auras.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 20.
All right.
What's the
Milady
plus?
has rolled a 17.
So,
I-
but with the +3 from
Yes.
great, or no, is it your charisma or my charisma? Your charisma.
Mine.
So then that is a 20 for me as
Oh,
well.
20 for- and I'm looking for
20 as well
Dusk.
from me.
Dusk, what did you
2.
roll?
Oh.
A what?
2.
You rolled a 2.
Yes, I rolled a 3 and my dexterity is -1.
So, that is a big old failure.
Yeah. Wow.
He watches the fire, and he watches everybody in front of you dives out of the way as best they can. However, when it gets to you, you take all of it. It'll be 26 points of fire damage.
Holy.
For those
Yeah,
of
'cause,
you
like she had
who-
the most time to dodge. What happened?
I think
for those of
I-
you who saved, it's going to be 13.
And then is it halved
In mine-
again? Because of warding bond?
No.
No, because of her warding aura? She said it halves the damage.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yes.
So 6.
Sweet.
Nice. Okay.
So 6 damage.
Oh,
Let's
nice.
see.
Paladin.
Let's see.
Sick. I imagine what happened is that in the game, Dawn said, get out of the line, like, because she figured it out the same way Jess
Yeah.
did. And then
Just literally typed it
then
into
so-
the chat, and then you were like,
couldn't hear it.
So it's specifically damage from spells that are protection guaranteed, correct?
Yes.
okay.
Alrighty. So after Jan Thazel casts that spell, she then runs around to the other side of the wall of fire. None of you were able to see through it.
Right. And it's 20 feet
Okay,
tall.
quick
It's
question.
20 feet tall, yes.
Lovely.
Yes, go ahead.
So for my mantle of spell resistance, is this a saving throw in which I get advantage?
Of course.
Okay. Let me try again.
He said,
You got it. You got this. You got this.
I nap 1.
All right.
So
It was meant to be, clearly, as you take all the damage.
Apparently, you got the heaviest armor you could possibly find.
You're just not used to it.
I also ended up getting like armored stiletto heels.
Of
for
course.
some reason.
Yeah.
So that is her turn. That is her move. Nothing else happening from her. Let's bring us to Niall.
Come on, Niall.
you're muted.
You're muted.
Denied.
It's because I was sneezing.
Oh.
Sorry. That really changes what I want to do because now she's behind this gigantic wall. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my my tattoo is going to flash, and I'm going to with my bonus action activate my Eldritch Claw tattoo, which makes my melee attacks have a range.
Mhm.
And with my action, I'm going to run up to the wall of fire and hide behind it.
Interesting. Okay.
That will be my my action will be a stealth,
Go for it.
upon which I get a 30.
A 30. Wow, that's
Wow.
impressively stealthy.
I am
Uh,
fire.
Yes. That's going to bring us to
I
Jeff.
am death.
Fantastic. Yuck. Thank you. Is
Sorry.
going to go ahead
Ah,
and
How could I
immediately
forget?
take to the sky, putting himself a handy 30 feet up in the air, which should allow him to see ya fuck stick.
Jan Thazel.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's the
indeed.
one.
20 feet up. Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
you're able to see right over the top. No problem.
Say, how dare you treat my friends so shamefully? And then he summons his giant eagle claw of his Bigby hand. It wraps around his hand and then enlarges as he extends it. He's going to cast Grasping Hand on Jan Thazel to rip her off the ground.
Very nice.
So
With 8
believe
orcas.
that is a grapple check.
Yeah.
And if the target is medium or smaller, I have advantage on it.
So,
How tiny is she?
She is a medium-sized creature.
Huzzah. Alrighty then.
Ooh.
So, grapple for that, Sean, is athletics, I believe, yeah?
Yeah, you have to make that athletics. I get to make whatever I want.
Yeah. Alright, so that is going to be 15 plus the strength of the hand, which is a +8. So that's a 23.
All right, she's extremely agile. However, she has failed with a 21.
Ooh.
So with that, I grasp her in the claw of my hand.
This is
and then-
Big B's hand, correct?
This is Big
Yeah.
B's hand, yes, indeed. So I grasp her in the claw of that hand and then begin to lift her up.
Alrighty.
But she will take from the grasping hand itself 2d6 damage. I'm going to go ahead and use my special owly die. That's double 5s. So that's
All right.
10 points of damage plus my spellcasting ability modifier, which I believe is
37.
37. No, my modifier I think is it's not spell attack. The modifier is +4. So that's gonna be 14 points of bludgeoning damage, and she is now grappled.
You don't get to. Oh yes, there it is. Because you grasping. So did you grasping hand or did you do forceful hand?
Grasping hand.
All right. And this, yes, indeed, your spellcasting ability modifier 14, indeed. God, thank you.
And hopefully she's really bad at Constitution saving throws.
I mean, I'm hoping. She's a spellcaster.
Roll that save. Let's see. She is holding on to Wall of Fire. That is Jack's action, Jack's move, and anything else, Jack?
Jackson move. So when I cast it, and as a bonus action on my subsequent turns, well then there it is. All right then. So then, as a bonus action, I will sit there and inspire. Who is next? I'll say Dusk, and so I'll sit there and strum my bandor and be like, "Pick yourself up off the ground and shake off the dusk." Dun, 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 dun. So
Nice. Well done. Dusk.
Okay. Is it an action for me to throw Hugo off his staff?
Yes, for you. Yeah, for you to create the undead, the zombie that you get to create with. I think yes, it is an action.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm gonna move out of this fire.
Okay.
That sounds like a great idea. And is she currently hidden, or was it just the wall of fire?
The wall of fire was holding her. How high up in the air is she now?
So the grasping hand, I believe, is I can only move it on subsequent turns. So she is
gotcha, because she's still in the ground.
5 feet in the air. So
5 feet in the air. Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to use the staff to cast Phantasmal Killer on her.
Okay.
Which would have advantage?
No, it's a saving throw.
Oh, okay. All right.
So what is the saving throw?
Wisdom 16.
Alrighty. Let's see here. As the spell apparently takes effect, as she has failed her saving throw, the psychic. What is the form that you are?
Oh yeah, what is this thing?
Oh, it's a nightmare that only she knows.
All right. So she closes her eyes within the Bigby's hand here, then looks at you and opens them, and her eyes flash with a iridescent orange. She appears to be immune to the frightened condition. As such, Phantasmal Killer has no effect on her. Poop.
Yeah, she's poopy.
That's
Yeah, it's poopy.
Dusk's action. Anything else, Dusk?
I don't have much. I don't really have anything bonus action. Ooh, no.
All right, so moving on.
I'm gonna just scoot in this direction because I don't want to be in line of fire.
Alrighty, so all right, that's good. Very good. Double checking the rules of this. I think actually she would still take the damage.
She has to roll another wisdom save at the end of her turn to take the actual damage.
The end of her turn to take
She
the
just-
extra
it
damage, but
doesn't-
she's not actually frightened. I'm gonna rule that has no effect.
Okay.
So, so sorry. That's gonna bring us to Milady.
She is going to dash around and get right up here.
All right, show me.
To, I think you have to move her.
Oh, Milady, of course. So she's gonna go to the south.
Yes, around the
So
wall of fire.
She sees Niall because he was in full view when he hid, but so she leaps over him.
Pack tactics.
And her
Tactics.
hop tactics. What is her speed?
40, and she's dashing.
40. So she
Nice.
goes the full 80. She arrives right next to Inthazel.
Yes, please.
Okay, that is Milady's turn. Brings us to Win.
Wynn is going to activate her winged boots.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And she's gonna move up over the top of the
Wall of fire.
wall of fire,
Mhm.
but she can't get back down, right? Because that would mean that she went 20 feet up, and so she could get halfway
Yeah, so
back
you go
down
20
on the
feet
other
up and then
side.
5 feet over, and then you'd have to go another 20 feet down the other side, yes.
Okay, so she's kind of over top of the fire,
Okay.
making her way over here.
Don't
But
count.
you know what? Actually, I'm just gonna dash and get all the way there.
All right. You dash, get all the way there. All right. Do you go back down on the ground?
Yes, to where she is. Though, so like what, 5 feet in the air?
Alrighty. Yeah, 5 feet in the air. That works. All right. That's going to bring us to the Accursed Guard here. Let's see. This individual is going to step out from behind the shrub where it is. Comes there, has full view of Dawn there, cringing from the fire. He's going to cast Hex upon you. You are now hexed. He is hexing your
Counterspell.
Oh, very good. Jax counterspells the hex. Looks down at his hand, takes the sword to the other hand, and pulls it out and points it at Dawn and fires Eldritch Blast.
Well, okay.
They go flying at her.
One does.
It's a natural 1 and a 19.
19 will hit.
10 points of force damage.
Ooh.
Then he steps. Go ahead.
I'm gonna hellish rebuke him
Okay.
for hitting me, because how dare he? So he has to roll a
Right.
dex
How dare.
save.
Got
That's
it.
rude.
A dex save indeed. I think you're outside of
60.
the aura, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. You're outside of Wynn's aura for the spell, correct?
Yes.
All right. 15 is what he's rolled.
So he fails, he takes 15 fire damage.
15 fire. Got it.
Nice.
You take 10 points of force damage from the Eldritch Blast.
That's just the Eldritch Blast that I took the damage from that I
Yeah.
okay.
He then goes back, somewhat hidden by the shrubs and the trees up there. The Cursed Guard that is in this little nook here, looking at you, Wynn, as you come down, reaches out with one hand, and his sword begins to glow in the other, and he looks like he's casting an Eldritch Blast, but then as the sword glows, he brings the sword into his hand and actually seems to penetrate his hand with the sword. The sword goes through his hand, and as he pulls it out, the Eldritch Blast ball in his hand grows by an order of magnitude, and he's going to use Greater Eldritch Blast on you as a massive ball of energy comes roiling towards you.
Dear Lord.
Fuck.
Let's see here. I hit AC 27.
So it hits.
As this ball of energy roils, it comes towards you. Oh my god. It does 73 points of force damage.
What?
I will say it doesn't, because it does 30. What? 7 instead?
Because of the
What's
ward
half of- what's half?
aura.
I think your aura helps other people, but not you. we double check that?
Defenses, damage from spells, aura, warding, resistance. Beginning at 7th level, ancient magic lives so heavily upon you that
Yeah, it says, there you go, you and friendly
Ward.
creatures. Oh, yeah, excellent. Whew.
Oh,
So, yes.
I was
All
like,
right.
oh, tiny baby.
Your
Oh,
10,
no.
your 10th level power coming into effect here as
Oh,
it
holy
does
shit.
diffuse a great deal of this force that roils over you. However, you are pushed away from
God.
Yinthazel, as this is a repelling blast and you are knocked into the wall of fire. Please make a dexterity saving throw.
Woof, guys.
I hate it.
We're gonna TPK.
18.
That is a
Okay.
success.
Okay.
That's a success. So you will take half of this spell. It's going to be 22 points of fire damage, so 11. And then
Then
reduced
halved
again
again.
because of your aura.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your aura, man. Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay.
okay.
All right. That is that Accursed Guard. And as he finishes that attack, he charges forward to here. That is going to bring us to Dawn. Dawn, it's hot where you are.
Yeah, and all of my friends are losing all of their hit points.
Yeah, seriously.
How dare you
Like,
guys? I am Jesus.
I will say,
It's
I
Sean's
know
fault, to be
it
fair.
seemed like I lost a lot, and I did, but it might be less than you're thinking.
No, he'll win. You
Yeah.
still took like 40 points of damage.
yeah.
Like,
Okay. I'm
But
going
so did Death.
to step for because I'm still in the. I'm just gonna step 5 feet closer to Win, so I'm not entering the
Mhm.
spell. I'm going to reach forward and cast 3rd level Cure Wounds on Win.
As you step forward, you come into sight of this accursed guard up here. He is going to counterspell your cure wounds.
God damn it.
Hey, joking around.
Why'd you have such shitty friends?
yeah.
And then I'm gonna send my
see.
spiritual weapon at that frickin' because if I'm in his view, he's in mine, and I'm sending my spiritual
Right.
weapon the 20 feet over to
Your
smack at him.
hand reaches out with its healing magic, and there is a small thunderclap from up above these copse of trees, and you look and you see the hand reaching out and just makes a ripping motion, and the light in your hand goes out.
And I'm just gonna like growl a little bit, and then my hand's gonna whip out, and my mace is gonna just go flying towards him and take a swing at him.
All right, you can move it 20 feet,
Yeah.
which is in range, so go ahead and make that attack.
For 14 again.
14 misses, easily dodges it.
And then I'll use my movement to get out of the fire because I'm smart enough to know I shouldn't be standing in fire. I'm not sure under my turn.
That's going to bring us to Yanthazel. Yanthazel is going to Misty Step out of the Bigby's grasping hand up onto this rock here. As she reaches there, she is going to... Yeah, she's going to use Abyssal Rift. She reaches a hand out, and a little glowing mote of light begins to appear that begins to crackle with green electricity. And she begins to hum and sing, and this beautiful voice comes out that then gets harsher and harsher and harsher as she finishes this note with a piercing scream that echoes out between these two hills, as right on where the wall of fire is, she is going to cast Abyssal Void.
What?
I need...
I hate it.
Let's see.
Is
It's
that a
not
concentration spell?
Abyssal Rift. That is not a spell at all.
Oh.
She just has created this. She was only... If it was a spell, she wouldn't have been able to do it because she used her bonus action to cast a spell. I need Constitution saving throws from each creature in that area.
Sean,
Yeah.
if we are 30 feet up in the air,
Yes.
is the rift
Is a... Let me double check the size of it.
like is is it like on the ground? Is it
There's a 20-foot radius sphere, so it's actually 40 feet total in diameter. So it's a little bigger than that. So if you're
Okay.
30 feet up, it would still hit you.
okay?
I said Constitution,
Just
right? Oh my god.
Yes. There we go. More like that. So a failure from Win, a failure from Dawn. Oh,
And
that's
that was a crit for Moon or
for,
Millie.
for Moon. Okay, Milady succeeds. A 9 from Jack.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and use my bardic inspiration that I got.
Yes, the one that was floating around in the neighborhood of Velo.
And that is a 9, so that brings it up to an 18.
An 18 is a success. So, for those of you who succeeded, I think only Jack succeeded. Am I right about that?
And Millie.
And Milady.
Oh, and Milady. All right, so the damage is 13 points of necrotic damage. You take half of it if you succeeded.
Okay. But then what?
And let's see here.
Am I okay?
just a second. Just a second. She casts that spell and it just disappears. Possible there was another thing that could happen, but it did not.
All right.
What does that mean?
I know, I hate it.
For me to know, and for you maybe to find out, if dice tell us differently. That is Yanthazel's turn. Yanthazel's turn brings us to Nyla.
Okay, well, she keeps moving out of my range, and I have no ranged weapons in this land, so I'm going to use my
You have
action.
your Fate Gripper.
That's true. Oh, I'm gonna do that. Okay, let's see. How far am I from her? My measuring tool. Okay, so I'm going to. Thank you for that reminder. I'm going to pop out from behind the fire, and I am going to, with my left hand, throw my Fate Gripper at her chest.
All right. Ooh. So as you reach it back with the intent to throw, the fiery blood-like inlay on this gauntlet begins to burn with anticipation, and it rises up your arm, and outside of your back grow two fiery phoenix-like bat wings, and you rocket right through the wall of fire, and as you throw towards her, I assume are you using it to attack her, or are you just going
I
next
need to
her?
make an attack.
Okay, so roll your
with
attack.
it. So
You
and
had
it's
wings the whole time?
not that I knew, and it's at advantage because I am hidden.
Correct.
But it's mother piece of shit, motherfucker. I
So-
got 14.
We have to
That
roll
is
better.
a failure. However, I will even on a failure, you are still able to teleport. You just still teleport next to her, but the 14 does not hit.
Well, that's where I am.
All right.
And yeah, I mean the bonus action. All right, let's see.
Shanks?
I don't like that at all. That's an action spell. Mother, god damn it, shit. Well, I can't do anything bonus action-y aside from I can't really hide in plain sight.
Spit at her.
Not right in front of her, and absolutely not.
Yeah.
She's looking
No.
right at you. You can't hide.
But you have like,
Bonus action dodge.
oh,
No, that's not a
No.
thing. It's not. That's
just do,
sorry.
do the vampire bite. That's the good one.
All right, Jack, can you roll a Constitution saving throw for me to see if you held on to Bigby's hand after taking that
Oh,
necrotic
but
damage?
but of course, but of course. All right. That is going to be so. What is that? That's a con save plus my. Is it just con?
Just con. Yep.
All right. Oh,
Just need to
man.
roll a 10 or higher.
Yeah. I rolled 4 plus 2, which is a 6. So
Unfortunately, you lose concentration on your Bigby's hand.
I do.
As it winks out of existence from that damage. But it is now your turn.
Accountant, can you turn that 4 plus 2 into 10?
I mean,
You're
if I don't want to
just out
follow
of
the
range
law.
of you're just out of range of Wynn's aura too. Otherwise, that would have applied as well.
What's that?
My
Oh, the-
aura.
The aura.
I mean, hey. All right. So, well, that is going to change. Is it going to change what I was going to do? Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and try. Yeah, I really don't like this chick.
same. Honestly.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Wait, Jack, can I double check something? What did you roll? What was your total on that con save?
Or 6.
6? Yeah.
6. All right, so even with Wynn's aura, it would still have failed. Never mind.
Yeah.
Because I think double check when your aura is 15 feet, because you would be within 15 feet.
He's 30 feet up.
Sure.
Oh. Yes, of course. Well, then never mind.
Yes.
You're well out of Wynn's range. I should
I'm
put a
gonna say
little
the,
icon
the-
on you
the
reminding me.
joys of being a flying creature is that you often put yourself away from other individuals. All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put. So, Sean, I'm gonna. I am like having seen Wynn get hit and thrown back. I'm gonna go ahead and do like the crackling blue energy funnels around my arm, and he's just like, I swear to God, I will bury you in the oubliette where no one will ever remember your name. And I fire off this electricity. It is going to go ahead and hit right. I want to place it just on.
What spell are you casting?
This is going to be synaptic static.
Right. Synaptic static.
Synaptic static.
You want to do it far enough
It's
back
your
that you
favorite.
only
I
hit her,
think-
not Niall?
Like
yeah.
that.
So, but I want it positioned in. Can I? I don't think I can position it in such a way that I get the other douchebag and not. Niall.
Not enough.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
You could.
It's all right. I love my friends, and I want to keep them alive. Okay, cool. So that's going to be that's an intelligence saving throw.
Indeed, it is.
You gotta beat a 17, my friend.
Let's see what I got. Intelligence. Oh, that was the wrong thing. There we go. Roll that. An 18.
Oh.
Okay.
Just like
So that
half damage.
means, yeah.
So it would have been
So,
higher than that. It would
but
have been
you-
18. It would have been a 22. Sorry.
What was that?
It would have been a 22.
Oh, you rolled an 18. That's not, All right, so let's see here. Let's do. So sorry, friends.
Takes the
I'm
half
having-
damage, but she's not affected by the lasting effect as this explosion of psychic energy lends itself to the
Yeah, absolutely. So like
the
this
light
electric
storm that is happening around you.
seems to crackle around. So that's
It's 8d6.
Oh, those are some
Nice.
good sixes.
It-
Good
it's
dice.
8d6.
You need another 2d6.
yeah. I
on
got
there.
2 more,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Woo!
There we go.
34.
Total was
34.
Thank you.
Half,
to
of 17.
Can I play every game with you? So
This
we
literally
can-
happens in my Tuesday
We got
game
you.
too, as I'm
Seriously,
always doing the
like-
math on the Tuesday.
Just
You
she's just so fast.
amazing. Yeah.
Uh, she who drops concentration on Wall of Fire.
So that's something.
Something big.
That's a big something.
Like something.
All right, that's Jack's turn. That's going
That's
to
a
bring
hell
us
of
to
something.
Das.
And,
what's Jack's
and
turn?
then as my
Sorry, it's
bonus
probably-
action, I'm going to go ahead and give an inspiration to win.
All right, inspiration to win.
I'm like right in front of her.
Yeah, seriously.
Dude.
It's okay. No. He said it. I'm just giving you shit.
Love you so much.
You called him by
Alright.
his Francis
I did.
earlier.
I did.
You dead named
All
him.
right. It is now dusk.
Okay. Remove 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then from here, she is. Okay, so I would like to use my third aspect of death tier. So as a bonus action, I'm forcing her to do a charisma saving throw. So that would be a charisma of 16.
All right, what is this power you're using?
So if she fails, she will be cursed and haunted by an undead spirit
Oh, I love that.
until the curse ends, or I use this feature again. So she could be cursed for
A long time. What is this save again?
16.
I mean, what is the what am I
Charisma.
rolling? Charisma.
Charisma.
Alrighty.
Very on brand for Desk.
That is an 11.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
gotta have
yes.
that somewhere.
Okay. While cursed in this manner,
Hell
when a
yes.
creature attempts an attack roll, saving throw, or ability check, it rolls a d6 and subtracts that amount rolled from the result.
All right.
So over her, all of a sudden you see kind of like this visage of like this ghostly outline of Dusk behind her with her head on her shoulder, holding on to her arms.
Just sort of weighing her down. That's
Have you
cool.
ever
Yeah.
seen that old now horror movie Shudder or whatever?
Yes.
That.
Yes.
That's
You're
old, isn't
honored.
it?
Yeah.
Nice
Milady.
pull, Tessa.
Oh, that's just my bonus.
Oh,
action.
I apologize.
Dusk
Let us
is
go back in
terrifying.
time.
Yeah,
What do
Dusk
you do
is
next, Dusk?
Badass.
Okay, and then I am going to use my Divine Wrath.
Mhm.
So it is necrotic damage. I am going to roll to hit. That is 19. Okay, so a 19 plus stuff. Does that hit?
It does. It does hit. I just want to make sure that that was a bonus action that you did before and not an action.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
got it.
And the third aspect is as a bonus action, you can
Got it,
force
got
a creature
All right.
to do a charisma saving.
So yeah, that hits.
Okay, and then I'm going to do 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, so oh my god.
Zoka probably
Just
doesn't know
gonna
what we're talking about.
roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Speak of it.
I was so close.
88.
88.
Nice. 39 points
Oh
of
my
39.
god.
what kind of damage?
Necrotic.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
You were a beast.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Look at the look on Sean's face.
Was he
Yeah.
smiling?
Immune. or
Does not appear to do as much damage as you were hoping it would.
It's just resistance.
So that's going to be 30.
Right.
So it's going to be 14 points of no,
Oh.
19 points of damage.
19. Yeah.
Okay. At least that's still
Yeah, well,
damage.
As this ability takes effect, and you watch as some of the green vines that are growing from within her wither away, revealing now clearly necrotic flesh underneath.
Ooh,
Okay.
That is
undead.
now brings us to Milady.
If anyone would like to find religion in like the next 3 seconds, that would be fantastic.
I got radiant damage, baby.
I
So
already found religion, Jack.
Milady will run on over here with her
Mhm.
movement, and then she will bite.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
She's biting this fellow here.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. She's going to Yen.
All right, so difficult terrain as
Oh,
she climbs
then-
up the rocks here.
So
I
hold
think she
on.
might still
5,
have the movement.
10.
Yeah, she does.
No,
40, right?
40?
So,
if it's difficult.
So 5,
10,
10,
20.
15, 20. So that's yeah. So she gets
Oh,
to
yeah.
there. She gets to there. That would
Yeah,
be where
so
she
never
would
mind.
go.
She would go after something she could actually
All right.
do. So let's
So
go
yeah,
for the
runs to
extra
there.
card
Something she could
with
sink
a
her teeth
bite.
into.
And oh, that is a
That's
8,
an
9,
8
10,
on
11.
the die.
Yeah.
An 11, I'm afraid, is not going to pierce the armor of this accursed guard.
Ugh.
So she chomps and just gets a mouthful of metal.
Alrighty. That's Milady's turn. Brings us to Win.
Win is going to Misty Step right the fuck over here.
Yeah, you
Okay.
are.
Mm.
She's finally where she wants to be.
Yeah.
And I had said that I was wielding my greatsword, but I will drop that and bring out my Sunblade.
Ooh. So
If
you
go
drop
right
the
behind her,
great
you
sword.
get flanking.
I don't think she had the movement. I don't think she
Oh.
had the distance with the Misty Step to get there. But
Oh,
she
never
could
mind.
move there. You could move
Well,
there.
Because Misty Step
sure.
is both.
She rolled a 21 though.
Yeah, 21. I'm good.
21, you're good.
And
you
that is 9 damage because it seems that she is undead.
Yes.
And I'm gonna smite the crap out of this.
Yeah, you are.
I'm just gonna hammer that smite button.
Remind me how many d8s I roll if
So what
at
level
level
are you
2?
smiting at? At level
2.
2. So that's going to be 3d8, but you get to add another 2d8 to that because it is 3d8. You get to add another
Undead?
oh god.
1d8
Yeah, 1d8
because-
so 4d8 total, but because it's a Sunblade, there's another die on there as well, right?
Yep.
Yep. So 9
For
6
the
so
win.
15. So
Yeah.
4 more d8. Another 18. So a
18.
total of
You wield it two-handed?
18.
That was it wielding two-handed, yeah.
27 altogether, Sean.
27.
Thank you. Nice to have smart people in my
Oh,
27.
Math people,
Uh,
not necessarily smart people.
The blade cuts through and she does buckle underneath it and looks at you with contempt roiling in her eyes.
Oh, she
Second
didn't
attack.
like it, so here it happens again.
I'm sorry, bothered by it.
Sorry, did you not
Crit,
invent?
crit,
25.
25's a hit.
Ooh. And I can't smite again, can I?
You can.
Yeah, you
Every
can.
attack you
Are you
make.
kidding me?
Does.
You got
And a smite,
Uh,
and a smite, and a smite.
Where with the crap? Ooh.
That was what?
Oh,
7.
how did that happen?
That didn't add your modifier.
yeah.
That's weird.
even
So
a little
3
bit.
plus
Super
5 is
bizarre.
8. Plus you have to
Yeah.
roll 5d8 because the sunblade plus this. Okay. Oh, there.
Is that
Yeah,
Is
that
that
worked.
There we
correct?
go. Yeah, the site that makes more
14,
sense. There we
15,
go.
15,
17,
14
18, 19, 20, 22 plus
48.
I'm out of second level spell slot, so we're gonna go for the first level now. So that would be 3d8 smite, right?
Thank you. Yep.
So
That's
add 6.
Nice.
38.
38.
38 points of damage as she buckles under that blow as well. You cut away an entire section of this growing mass that's coming out of her, and you can see the little sickle symbol on. This looks like it's actually been emblazoned onto her skin. You can see somewhere in here there is remnants of a fae, but you can see now undead, and she looks a little, perhaps fearful, and she looks towards Jack, and you see a brief longing, and then she looks back towards you with absolute hatred.
I said, and that will be the end of my turn, but not before I say, leave him or die.
All right. Brings us to the accursed guard. Accursed guard up here is going to step forward, and he sees Dawn. He is going to hex you, Dawn. As dark tendrils of energy begin to move around your body, and you feel yourself becoming unsure about your wisdom saving, your ability to, not wisdom savings, your ability to complete wisdom-based skills.
Oh, like ability checks.
Hate
Okay.
that.
Yeah. That's the ability that he has hexed upon you, and you watch as a power begins to grow in his hands as well, as he begins to concentrate, taking Eldritch Blast and pouring more and more power into it as it begins to charge up. He sends a greater Eldritch Blast roaring towards you.
Counterspell.
All right. Counterspell is effective, and as this, I rolled a 19. As the damage rolls towards you, Jack reaches out his hand and dissipates, and it is gone. That
Right.
is that accursed guard's turn. The accursed guard that is right here next to Milady is going to attack twice with his packed blade. 26.
Hits.
I'm
That's
gonna-
going to be.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
It's going to
You're
be
fine.
10 points of slashing and 14 points of force damages. Milady
Bye.
leaves existence with a howl. That is one of its attacks. 5, 10. Let's see. What can I get? He looks up. He's going to climb this rock up to where Niall is and make his second attack.
Okay.
24 to hit you, Niall.
I am going to howl right in his face.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Silvery Barbs on him.
All right, let me roll again. It's gonna be a 15.
That is going to miss, and
Right.
I am giving myself the advantage.
Very good. You have
down.
advantage for your next attack, saving throw. What have you? It's gonna bring us to Dawn.
Mhm. Okay.
We need to see whether or not he gets back his greater Eldritch Blast. Yep. He does not. Okay.
Okay, these guys, I don't like what happened last time I tried to heal my friends.
Mhm.
So I'm going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Move behind this bush so I'm no longer seen.
Okay.
And then I'm going to shoot out a beam of light right here. And a ball is just going to appear there. A pink glowing sunlight ball that will all of a sudden just explode in pink energy. And all of my friends will take healing.
All right, mass
Mass
healing
cure wounds.
word?
Ooh.
Mass cure wounds. Aha.
And everybody takes 13 points of healing. That
Ooh.
all of my
Hot
friends
dog.
take 13 points of healing. And then my I'm
Feel
going
like a new thing.
okay. It doesn't spiritual weapon doesn't say I need to be able to see the location that I'm moving it to and the person I'm attacking. So can I move it after that occurs?
Well, just because it doesn't say that doesn't mean you don't have the when you see C and stuff like that, that is in addition to line of effect. So basically, if you can't see a target, you can make an attack where you think they are. You're just at disadvantage.
With the spiritual weapon?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I make a disadvantage attack at the cursed guard?
You can.
That is
Yep.
nearest to it?
Absolutely.
I believe
Oh,
in
that
you.
was the wrong. I rolled at advantage, but 22 was my lowest of the two.
No, it's what, well, that will hit.
Yep.
Make up for some of those 14s.
Oh, and I rolled
Apparently
good,
that spiritual weapon has blind fight.
Uh,
well done.
10 points
10
of
points
force.
of force damage. That
Very
is going to
nice.
take away one of. Well, you need to roll to see whether or not you hit one of his
Yeah.
mirror images. Let's see here. Zoop. You don't. You hit one of him.
I hate
As,
him.
One of him.
Yes.
One of him.
Go Steve.
So
Oh,
you manage.
he
So
hit my
Steve
knee.
at disadvantage rolls. You swings completely blindly. Manages to find the one's mirror image that is actually this individual. So how much damage is it?
10 force
there's
damage.
From up there. Anything else, Dawn?
That's all of my things.
All right.
Those are good things.
Yanthazel, looking very hurt, looks at you, Win, says, I've been here but a little time. Time to end our game of rhyme. And she begins to cast a spell.
Guys, she rhymed at me.
That's a 10.
Necrotic energy begins to spread out from her, roiling out from her over you, over her ally, over Nile, as she casts Circle of Death. And it affects an incredibly large area as all of you lose sight of what is happening in the center of this. A roiling maelstrom of necrotic energy that roils out. It has a sickly green look to it. The air itself seems to corrupt and wither and vibrate and distort as it reaches out to all of you. This is the affected area.
Holy.
Whoa.
Jack, as it comes towards you, you wish you had a counterspell.
Yeah.
That is the coolest looking spell, though.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
sad
I
that it's
don't
going
like
to kill
it.
all of my friends, but
Yeah.
I need a Constitution saving throw from everyone who's affected.
All right. Remember, when you have a bardic inspiration.
Yo.
and Niall,
Which is a
you get to
D10.
add 3 for wins.
Yeah,
or,
you need to add the bonus now.
I get the. You said that the. You said that the advantage from silvery barbs can be on a saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh, but I automatically roll as advantage, so that doesn't. That doesn't
Right.
qualify. Okay, never mind.
All right.
I need to take that
I-
off. Okay, I'm sorry.
So it's a Constitution saving throw. Is that what?
Mm-hmm.
Win rolled a 24 using the Bardic die.
Bardic Inspiration. Alrighty.
A 13 for me.
No. A 9 from Yuck.
Niall, you do get your aura from me if
That
it helps.
That is the
Oh,
is
okay.
with of it. Yep.
All right, so the damage is 49 points of necrotic damage. If you succeeded, then it is half of that.
And that's a spell?
I am going to.
It is.
My body is going to puff into a cloud of smoke and then reconstitute. I'm using my my tattoo to take half damage from that.
I was gonna say, I was
attack.
like, wait, what?
Alrighty.
You also take half damage because you're standing next to Wynn.
Oh, is this a
It's a spell.
It's a spell.
is this a spell?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a spell.
So 49 halves
So you-
would be 24.
24 and then
halved is
halved again
12.
is 12.
Jack, you are not so lucky.
Alright, so the spell goes away after it is cast, I believe.
I imagine Jan Thazel
Yeah,
didn't take
It
any
is
of
a.
that.
Well, she took some of it.
Did her friend take it?
She appears to be resistant. He also took some of it, but he also appears to be resistant.
Yeah.
That is Jan Thazel's turn. It's going to bring us to Nile.
All right, I'm going to draw my Nixian Blade short sword, and I'm going to face the accursed guard, and I'm going to swing, but instead of striking the accursed guard, I stab it back behind me and thrust it into Jan Thazel. I'm attacking with a crit.
Oh, goodness.
That is going
crap.
to be that's
Holy
a lot of
crap.
numbers that I can't.
Hold on, my computer was doing. Okay, so 2.
Well, the base damage is shitastic. That's 3, but my sneak attack damage is 36, so that's a total of 39 points of damage. I thrust the blade behind me, and when I feel it make contact, I twist it.
All right,
Hold on.
39 points of damage. There is a gasp and a. As Jan Thazel falls to the ground behind you and begins to turn to ash. But before she does, she reaches out a hand and grabs at Wynn's throat. And there is a burst of power. And Wind falls to the ground.
What is the?
Herself.
She killed-
Whoa, wait a minute. What did she use? Can I? Is that something I can silvery barbs?
No.
Can I eat her soul?
Who's not
you
Win?
can't.
Don't eat Win.
You can't actually. There is no
Jan
soul.
Thazel?
As Jan Thazel dies, she brings Wynn down with her, both of them collapsing to the ground in piles of ash. As Wynn has died, we bid farewell.
We're in a fight.
We're in a fight.
We're in a fight.
now.
The fuck?
That is going to bring us to Jack.
Poor Jack.
No,
It's okay. She'll come back.
they're not coming back. The people who
Why
are
aren't they
dead, they're
coming?
not coming back. And he just dashes for the pile where Wynn was. So let's see here. That gives him what's my fly speed? I don't even know. I'm messed up right now. Yeah. So that gives him. John, how high is this?
5, 10,
Mountain?
15, 20, 25 feet to get to
25
where
feet.
Wynn
Okay, so like flying. I'm at 30 feet, so it's so I'm kind of rocketing up and over. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I've got that. Yeah. So I've got the 60 feet to make it there. So he literally just like little fey comet.
the
runs
air
the spot.
the air that is brought with you as you come down actually reaches the dust right after you and scatters it out a little bit.
What have you done? What have you done? And then he sits there and I'm so mad right now. Yeah.
In the moments after this calamitous event, the accursed guard no longer with their commanding officer or their lord, whatever was the relationship to them, this Jan Thazel. using Misty Step and their action, retreat away from the group. A few more attacks are thrown, some hit. None of them enough to bring any of you to a point of danger. They make their way back towards the accursed guards' encampment. And this will be where we end our session tonight. And we say goodbye to Tess, who got a gig and will not be able to join us for the rest of the campaign.
Oh no!
We bid her a very fond farewell, but man, a gig. What is the gig, Tess?
I'm understudying at the Cleveland Playhouse, which is just too good a credit and money.
Which is our
to,
big Kid Lort
that's
theater
our
in
Big
Cleveland.
Kid Lort Theater in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's amazing for you. It's incredibly upsetting
I know.
for our characters.
Yeah.
I just
And
hope
I-
you get
and-
answers about your daughter.
And I do apologize,
Oh.
Samus and all those. Yes, indeed, incredibly unfair for me to just say she
I'm
dies.
so mad.
I tried to make it work
I
with the
know.
dice. I tried to make it work with the dice, but you guys are just too good.
I know.
And we ran out of time tonight. But yes, as she fell, Jan Thazel took Win with her in a
To be
incredibly
fair, I was
act of
very close
petty
to
vengeance.
death.
Yes.
like as she falls, do we at least like on the wind hear like a mommy or something? Like,
Oh God, how dare
Oh,
you?
no, that's
No.
worse.
Oh.
Yeah, that's wise. Oh yeah, we're still.
This is Severed Threads. And
where
Wynn's
everybody
thread-
dies and
Wynn's
suck.
thread has been severed, and this is the Black Ballad, where things are very difficult. But the victors go the spoils. All of you, except for Wynn, get to level up.
Oh my god.
I'm not happy.
Why?
This is the first time I'm not
I
happy
know.
about it.
So,
Oh.
thank you very much for joining us. Thank you once again to
Can we
Storytellers
take a level
Forge.
down and just have her back?
I wish.
I wish.
I wish. Thank you very much to Storytellers Forge and Diamorte for sponsoring this. If you like the music you just heard, you can thank Diamorte for it. If you like this module, unfair DM hijinks aside, then you should get it as well. The information for both of these organizations can be found in our chat. You should definitely check out Ohio Shakespeare Festival, and I guess Cleveland Playhouse as well. If
Yep.
you want a chance, at least, of seeing our lovely.
Oh my
Tess.
god, God's forbid I go on. I don't want to. I just
No,
want-
it is essentially like a one-woman show, and so yeah, Tess.
Oh wow! What show is it?
It's called What the Constitution Means to Me. So I'm learning a lot about the
Oh
Constitution.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
If you like leather goods, such as the ones that Ryan and I are wearing, you should definitely check out Buckle and Rose. If you like cool stuff, you should go to Storytellers Forge Discord right now, mention Severed Threads in the chat, and you will be eligible to win something cool from them. If you go to my Discord, Medium Rare, and mention Severed Threads, then you'll be able to win some dice if you are one of the lucky ones chosen. If you like this setting and you like what is happening with this group, the last few minutes notwithstanding,
Yeah, well, then you would be the only one right now.
you should definitely check out the backer kit that Storytellers Forge has going on right now, because they are trying to get some funding for some novels to be written in this particular area, where we can see how they fared with the other individuals, other characters fared with their trials and tribulations here in the Sunless Crossing. If you like the art that you see for our characters, then you should definitely check out Kai. She's information for that is in the chat as well. And if you like me as a DM, I hope you do. I feel
do.
I
The last
You
5
really
minutes
do.
notwithstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should toughen up. I should just say this. This is what happened. I saw the hurt in Samus's eyes when I said that. He was like, "What? He didn't even just happened." He wouldn't have it. He was not having it. And I feel you. I feel you. It hurts me as well.
Can I
But
steal
anyway,
vibes? No, you can shut the hell up.
That's par for the course for our relationship.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
If you like this brand of Dungeons and Dragons and the way I DM, and you are looking for a DM like me in your life, I am for hire. Please check me out. Medium Rare. Let's chat. Let's play.
Highly suggested.
I think that is everything.
Death matters,
all
man. It
Wave
sucks.
a fond farewell to Tess. She will not be
Love
joining
you.
us next week, but the party
Good luck.
will continue without her.
Put not
Love
the party
you.
in my heart.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, friends.
Bye.